redesigning him? Was that ever like something true?
That is true.
They're delaying the
They
movie to next
redesign?
year because everyone hated the design.
Everyone bitched enough to be like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. We spent all this money.
It's how human teeth he has.
He's supposed to have normal teeth, though.
Listen,
He
the
eats
best
chili
movie
dogs.
coming out is Dora the Explorer. I don't know what any of you are
God
talking
damn it, I
about.
forgot
It's going to
about
be the best movie
Oh
ever.
no, God
Please.
damn it. No.
We all need to watch it.
No.
Come on, everybody needs to go and watch it.
Oh, Afro, no. That's a trap. That's a trap.
It's gonna be so good. You ever since Funny or Die made that live action Dora, now they have something to live up to. They gave them the formula. It can't be bad. They have to actually try to make it bad.
You know they're gonna do that then, right?
Yes.
They are.
That's why I want all of us to watch it.
No.
I knew it. This was the true setup.
This was.
I will watch it. I will put
Very
myself
good.
through that pain.
There we go.
God damn it.
You are brave. You are brave, Blink. You are braver than me.
Says here, you
Come
wanna go
on,
watch that movie?
let's be real here. Like, if you have a little kid, they'll probably make you want to go.
Yep. Because no matter what you fuck, somebody's getting fucked.
That's true. If my niece wants to go see it, I have no choice but to go.
I agree, phone.
Oh my god, Vince is streaming. Did you guys know?
Oh my god, he's streaming now. Hi, everybody.
I'm setting it up. But that means I gotta advertise. Z and Drix. Z and Drix. Did that show get canceled? I forgot if it did.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Because I forgot if it ever got closure or whatever.
No,
Well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna at least say this in a realistic perspective. The only way it could be true closure is if they get old and then they die.
Yeah.
That's like the
10
sad
out of
truth.
10 live action, Kolyoko.
There is actually. Too late.
I know. It's
French.
terrible.
It's
I have
incredible.
not
It's really bad.
I have not seen it.
Is it bad?
Like, the animation's great when they go into the world, but outside it's just bad.
It's just because they're so lazy and they don't want to at least do the... They don't want to do the thing. They don't want to... They just really don't feel like doing it. They just hate
I
it.
started watching the Kolyoko and I can't stop staring at how tiny their eyes are and how big their foreheads are. And
Oh boy.
how annoying Sissy is.
I mean, that's...
Oh no.
But that was the point, though.
Please, no.
I don't remember her voice being that so annoying.
You know why? Because you kind of channeled it out because it had more positive traits versus the negative. Now that you're older,
Yeah.
you're going to overanalyze stuff. I'm already there. I always like, hey, look, CGI. Hey, look, CGI. Hey, look, CGI.
Also, like, I never realized, like, so early on, Alita's like, hey, Jeremy, me and you should kiss. I was like, what?
Wait, what? I don't remember that.
Yeah, Alita's like, when I go to the real world, we can hang out and have fun and kiss. And I was like, what? I'm like, I don't remember this.
You know why? Because Jeremy doesn't, like, because you don't remember that part. You were so focused on
I
the
only
action.
remember Jeremy being so, like, Alita. I never realized Alita made the first move.
You know why? Because the thirst is real. Thirst.
Obviously.
From AI waifu to IRL waifu, and then it just seems like, It kind of seemed
He's the only one who
whenever.
actually did it.
Yeah, but no. They held hands. They didn't kiss.
No, I'm talking about he's the only real person who actually brought their waifu from the digital to real life.
Oh yeah, because she was a real life waifu. Even though. Oh no, I'm just thinking the weirdest things.
I kind of want to see if there's an abridged for Kolyoko.
You'll probably
For
find those
some
third
reason, I
rate
could
ones.
just
You probably find.
probably.
But you know, it's a positive that you tried. That, and also, don't forget, darling, Sakura gets to fill in those holes of whenever he blacked out that one time.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the session with a little bit of a recap of what happened last time and just go over the ends of the event of that last night before we go into the current session because
Yeah,
people were falling asleep and
I don't know what happened between me sitting down still and just walking to my bed.
That's called autopilot.
That was
I
scary.
remember.
so we will just have a little recap and a little review and make sure everyone's on the same page and then we'll go into chapter 4.
Yeah.
I destroyed your car. Just kidding.
What did you what?
I'm just kidding.
She almost did because she had one of her ghouls like literally pull the wires, and you know if they fail to do that correctly.
No, he didn't pull the wires. He said he couldn't find the wires.
Oh, but if
He
he
was
did,
having a hard time hot wiring and he tried. He really did. But
there's the
He's like,
attempt.
I can't
But he
find
did
the
it.
wires.
Oh,
He did.
okay. But just remember, if he did find it and then he failed to at least do it right, that actually
in Draven's
Sakura had
defense,
to
though,
replace
he
those.
was recovering from like a couple broken ribs, so.
I mean, I'm just saying more of like if
He was
Draven
trying
tried and
his
then
hardest.
failed to do it. I wanted to see that roll if it truly failed in wiring it.
It wasn't a critical fail. He just wasn't able to do it.
But that means there is still some damage, so
There is no damage.
I want some damage.
There isn't damage. He didn't find the
I
cables.
need Harvey being like, hey, you need to pay for my car. And he's like,
No.
I didn't damage it though. But there is damage. And then Dent fakes it. Dent fucking fakes
Dented
it.
my car.
Why
not
do you
the
want our
Ditmobile.
characters to start charging each other?
You know why? Because this is the real world. You gotta be an asshole sometimes.
But we didn't find the cable, so no damage is done. It just looked like he was just funneling the underneath.
Wait, say that word again, fun.
He was just funneling underneath like a weirdo.
Oh, also, Nick, can you turn it down a little? The music.
Okay. It's really quiet on
No.
my side, but I'll turn it down. more.
What? No?
Honey?
If she lowers it, I can't hear it.
Okay, fine. Keep it
Is
up.
it okay there, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh darn it. You're making it sound like I'm just like completely muting the music.
That's
Stop
okay.
cranking down the jams, old man.
These
Jeez.
damn children with their audio garbage. I love the old days when they go beepity boop beepity boop.
Alright, Vic.
Okay, old man.
Alright, Vic. It's time for some
It's time for
truth
bed.
here. How many people did you tell about the character?
Wait,
How many?
How many?
oh
How
no!
many?
Wait, give her a sec. She's typing. Also, look at this.
Why is there a bear making out with a person?
What?
I don't know. I just found it. And I'm
What?
like, why?
Wait, what?
Before I could do anything, the bear was upon Tom. Oh Jesus, that sounds dark.
I really love this soundtrack.
Yep, Vampire the Masquerade. I'm looking forward to the new soundtrack once they do the new Bloodlines too.
And then it
can't
all
wait to
becomes
buy
synthwave.
it.
And then
You see,
it turns to
Bloodlines
Vampire
actually just
Beyblades.
transitioned to cyberwave.
I'm just saying, once it truly turns into Blood Plus, then we're gonna have Corruptorins and people turning into stone.
I'm
Oh, I'm
I'm
gonna
a
include
little-
all the fun stuff once we get more accustomed to the setting and everyone's comfortable with the characters and stuff. So be ready.
Okie dokie.
Jake, did I get this right or wrong? Can you not play a Toreador in the new game?
You can. Yeah.
Okay, because like
The
guy said
currently
he
announced
can't-
clans are Toreador,
No, you,
Ventru, Bruja, and Shremir.
Yeah.
And there's one more coming, which they'll announce like tomorrow.
I can't wait to buy the game and tell Vic how much I have no more life now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy the first game and no
Gosh darn you,
life
Brad.
that shit, and then I'm gonna buy the
My
second one and no life that one.
And then we'd be like, hey, blank, you should also get Final Fantasy 14 and play video games.
You told me I shouldn't get a second subscription to another game.
I know.
I'm already getting World of Warcraft from my mom.
I'm just saying, whenever it happens, that the rest of these nerds are gonna. I'm warning you.
What?
Peer pressure, peer pressure.
No, not me. You good.
Peer pressure, peer pressure. There goes the money. And that's how. Hey, you. Hello. Oh shit, it's Sora. Hey, Sora. Damn, it's been long.
Hey Sora! Long time no see.
Sora.
Where's Donald and
game.
Goofy?
How are you?
It's no longer Kingdom Hearts, it's just Sora. This is the better story that you never heard.
Gosh darn it.
Sora no longer cares about his
Actually,
friends.
I really enjoy the AU for Kingdom Hearts where like Donald and Goofy are actually the animals and it's just super cute.
How you doing though,
They just
Sora?
make Sora a lonely person who only talks to his dog and his duck.
Oh, that makes me sad.
That's sad.
But it's cute.
Yeah, but then whenever they're like,
Only talks to his dog.
my
He's
kid-
just super socially awkward. Every
Yeah.
time Riku and Kairi say hi, he runs away.
but yeah, but you remember Sora the Gamer though, like during the YouTube era?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I remember.
okay. So yeah, no, it's been a long time, Sora. What you been up to, man? And welcome.
But does he remember the blank?
I remember stuff. And that's just all.
Oh man, remember staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning?
Nope,
to
no
finish
comment.
Danganronpa?
I don't know what you're talking about. It never happened.
Remember playing Danganronpa till 5 o'clock in the
Nope.
morning?
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
I actually remember that. I actually remember that. You can't hide that.
You went to
buddy.
bed.
Only reason we didn't
Oh, yeah.
stop. No,
What
I
the
was
fuck?
still
I had my
there.
No, I said Zero went to bed.
I was watching it on my phone.
And then you stayed up and you're like me.
Half of the time I was just reading it tired.
I remember mostly everyone still. Yeah. So the new people that I have in my life now are Misere Sakura Afro. Beautiful gentleman right here. Very.
Afros.
Check
What about
out
me?
his streams sometimes. It's twitch.tv/Sakura Afro.
No. You see this guy, he does more. I just rarely, like, ever really get on to do anything, so just stay watching Vince and you'll be fine.
Now,
Or Zero here, at Zero Crazy Zero. You can just go to that guy. They both do things a lot.
Also, Zero now
How about
streams.
check out all three of them?
Fade away into darkness. Bye,
And
guys.
then-
All three of them. You're right, Blank. They should go to your Twitter.
Go to Blake's Twitter.
Don't go to my I don't use my Twitter.
Yeah,
I
you do.
should.
I saw you retweet something. And then I
I
retweeted that
retweet
retweet.
cute stuff. I don't post my art on there.
Yeah, but also my waifu for life, ooh, Vic.
Hello.
She best waifu, and she's currently the GM for this vampire. As we are all vampires in this
The
universe.
person I keep harassing every time I get some news about Vampire the Masquerade, I'm always harassing Vic about it.
You gotta keep doing that. That's the proper way.
Even
to
like
do
when
it.
she's asleep, I'll be like, "Hey, there's a new LA by Night," or "Hey, did you see this video?"
Hey.
Socializing, aka. just
Eventually,
her-
she'll get tired of me. Eventually, she'll be like, "Can you stop?"
No, you don't understand. I'm too invested in vampire stuff.
No, legitimately, she's like, God, I missed everyone with y'all. Yeah, we missed
We
you
miss
too,
you
Sora.
too, buddy.
But as life is, so it is be. Making funny jokes.
Funny joke.
I don't know about
Funny
funny jokes.
joke.
Joke the fun.
After Vic introduced me to more of the Masquerade, she's been my go-to to talk about this. She's got me stuck here. And I think that was her plan.
You
She
I
know,
like
mean-
she
You
created
failed
this
the plan.
web.
It was a
She's
trap.
like,
like
here.
I've been stuck since 2004 when someone first was like, "Hey, you should play Bloodlines," and I was like, "Okay."
And that's what
Because
Yeah.
I mean,
happened.
originally I saw Cryotic play it, but I never really thought much about it till now.
Yeah.
See, darling. I tells you. I tells
I
you. love.
know he's popular. I know.
I would kiss that man. Wait.
No, not
Well, it's already out there. It's already been put out there. You can kiss this man.
No, there's already a
Alright,
quote in the group.
well, I've
Oh.
gone over some sheet things, so I think we're about ready to get going whenever everyone else is ready.
Wait, did you help Zero with this level 2 stuff?
He doesn't have enough experience for anything yet. He was only there for the first session so far.
Oh
so
yeah,
yes.
he's small Babu
so-
Zero. Point and laugh at him, everyone.
It's okay. Everyone is a small babu at this point.
Yes, but we will grow strong. Like
Mhm.
ox.
Like ox.
This
But-
is a long-term story, as long as everyone's invested. So
And no one
years
dies.
from now, you'll all be very powerful, or you'll be dead. So
Yeah.
Either way, I'm so invested. I have a lineup in my head.
God damn it.
Alright,
Turns
so-
the
Don't worry.
dating sim.
Character.
let us review where things ended last time with a recap of what happened. Who would like to summarize last session? Vincent.
Oh, damn it! Why did you do that? I always mess it up.
Well, just tell me what you remember. I want to hear your perspective.
Okay, so what I remember last was we ended up rendezvousing at the location that Zane put us at, and we just had everyone together at that moment. Carried around good old that jerk off Nosferatu.
Greg.
Okay, I'm just gonna say jerk off because I don't like him.
Fair enough.
But, let's see. I remember for some reason. Oh wait, shit. Blank. What was your character's name in this? Sorry, I'm thinking about Pathfinders right now. Fuck.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
How dare you? I'd also like to make a note that I sprayed the fuck out of that Nosferatu.
You did. You emptied half
That
of your
was
bottle of
beautiful.
perfume into his face.
Yes.
Luna is her name.
Thank you. I was just asking. As our team ended up just making it to this weird spot, we thought we were supposed to meet Zane's men. And something felt off. Whenever we checked around inside, myself and Dent, the only one that showed up was one guy. His name was Hibari last time I remembered. And whenever we asked him questions, whenever he ended up being here, we asked questions, we looked around. But then what happened next was I contacted Zane to see what happened to his men. And at that point, I realized what happened. It was a trap. We were set up for some reason. Well, the obvious is because we know too much. They tried to either A, from what I recall, either A, get rid of any and all evidence, aka us, or B, try to recover that Nosferatu back. Well, in the end, I took quick action, so did Dent. Thanks to our efforts, we were able to at least stop him. Stop that group. And we were able to get away, but we had to separate. Since the sun was rising once again, we had to say our goodbyes, and we had two bodies. One was already dead. The other, actually, wait, was it? Oh, it was two. It was two people, right?
Two people. One of them lost an arm but was kept alive thanks to some quick thinking from Dent, who cauterized the wound with a nearby flame.
Yeah, and the reason why I couldn't remember that was because whenever met up with Zane, gave him the body, I only informed him that we only had one body. Because right now I can't trust him. I don't know who to trust right now other than the people I'm working with right now. But for now, we said our goodbyes. And that's where we're at so far.
So that is Jason's perspective. But Luna, any additional notes from your side?
Oh, Raven fucked up. She brought me an old lady, and it's fun. Little call here and there. Asked Dent to drop me off where the car was. I gave him the perfume, but he was asleep. So just letting you know, Sakura, you have perfume again.
Alright.
His ghoul helped me take Draven to the car. I told Raven to drop me off at the chantry where I am currently with my sire. And Draven's at my house sleeping, and Raven's probably asleep or at the store. Listen.
Feeling very ashamed for her mix-up.
Oh, people. She could have died. I had to be a meat shield for her.
You did a good job.
At least I get a shopping trip out of it.
Yes, you do. And lastly, Hibari, what did you do after dropping off Jason at the college? The sun was nearly up, so what were your plans for the end of the evening?
Well, I wanted to go. Well, before the summer, what I wanted to do after dropping him off, I wanted to go talk to my boss and see why I was truly sent there for. Didn't really get much information, but since the sun was rising up, I decided to go find a place to stay for the night, or try to get back home as quickly as possible.
Not a lot of time to get home with the sun almost up, so maybe you're camped out somewhere close by.
Yeah. I think I might have just camped out somewhere.
Maybe the college offered you a room, but we'll come around to that. And Dent, you were a bit out of sorts with the sun so close to rising, but any memories of how the night ended for you? Oh no.
Oh no, Dent.
Wake up!
Oh, I forgot
Don't
to
do
make
this
a
to
thing.
us again.
So,
That's
besides me, Luna, and my new bosom pal, Greg, as well as Draven and Oil in the car, driving away. Me letting out Luna to get in her vehicle with Draven and having Oil escort them as I got real chummy with Greg with the spray bottle like right next to his eyes. The thing that I was whispering to him as they were walking to the car, just trying to stay out of the earshot of my new kindred friend. I'm whispering to him, so me and you, we have a lot to talk about these friends of yours that had absolutely no restraint in trying to butcher you with these, as I pull out the fire pistol. These wonderful toys here.
Look, I've never seen any of those before. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just a teensy bit away from the truth, seeing as how, well, they came to you first and they gave you a proposition. Wonderful one, it seems, but apparently you're on the expendable side, so I think you and me need to become friends, because you're running out of them.
He just grumbles at you.
And I put the gun back, kind of looking past him towards the rest and the car, and I'm just like, don't worry, we'll have a lot to talk about. And I just pat his chest. New friend.
So, dropping off Luna and her ghouls at their car and making your way back to your haven, probably locking up Greg in a room somewhere within your haven.
Mm-hmm.
We never really established if there was a jail cell anywhere, but a regular, key would work just fine. As long as he promises to be good and not break out.
I lock him in the bathroom. There's no windows. There's just the one door.
And fortunately for you, he is not an early riser, so he'll be out very cold as soon as the sun comes up. All right.
That's the last thing I remember.
Okay. Sleep takes you, and Oil takes a position guarding the haven as the sun rises and a new day begins. But for all of you, the time passes in a flash. The sun rises, passes over the earth, and sinks below the horizon. Night once again comes over the world, and you all stir from slumber. And I'd like you all to make me a rouse check as you awake from your sleep of the dead. Some of you are very hungry from the previous night. Dense, no hunger gained for the moment, although you are still at 2. Your stomach growls a little bit, but no increase for the moment. Jason, same for you. Feeling a little hungry. You could use some food. You too, Luna.
What about you, Barry?
Oh, hold on. I thought I lost Luna for a second. I was like, where the fuck is she?
Oh no. And
Oh,
Hibari.
I can't. I need you to change it to core for me, please.
Oh, right, because of good fun things. All right.
Fun times, happy times, pants that way.
Wait.
Eventually, I will not have
Ooh.
to rely on that. Oh!
You're feeling
Hello.
a little hungry there, Luna.
Oh boy.
And Hibari, your roll.
Sorry, it's been a while.
It's okay. It's right on your main page at the bottom. And you just want to make a rouse check.
Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go.
And no hunger gained. So everyone's a little hungry this morning, but not too bad. That's fortunate. And I'm going to open this chapter on a scene at the chantry. Luna, you've woken up. You've kind of accustomed yourself to your surroundings. You've been here before. This is a little room that they've reserved for you. Every neonate who's part of the chantry has their rooms on the premises, although you don't stay often having your own haven. But it's full of familiar knickknacks, all of your belongings, and as you wake, your stomach growls at you, and you can feel your blood pumping a little sluggishly in your veins. And that blood that you took from Raven last night helps, but not quite as filling as perhaps you need. But you recall that your sire had summoned you as soon as you awoke this evening. And so, what are you up to?
Real quick, before I go find the sire, I'm gonna check my voice notes.
Okay. Holding up your answering machine on your phone, there are a couple of text messages from Fame from the previous night. Very alarmed, questions asking where you are, if you're safe. But after a certain point, you got in touch with him, so the message is cut off. And you also have a new voice message from Leo.
No, check that voice note.
You hear a bit of a sullen tone in his voice. He's clearly still resentful over the events of a couple nights ago. Being chastised by the regions, being assaulted, having just the worst night of his life. But he has a slightly optimistic tone in his voice. He says, Luna, hey, I've been reading that book that you gave me. It's been really interesting. I wish I could have studied the other tome a little bit more carefully, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, I think that this could be an interesting little path to go down. Maybe, come by when you have time. All right, take care. Thanks up.
Before I go see my sire, I'm gonna go see Leo.
Okay.
I don't have my book. What's Wolf Boy's name? I don't have my book on me right now. I'm lost in the mix of packing.
Oh no.
What's Wolfie Boy's name again? Was it James?
James.
Okay. I'm gonna text him. I hope you're doing okay, and with the little heart, I'm gonna send it to him while looking for Leo.
Okay. As you wander the halls trying to sniff out Leo, he's not in any of his usual spots to your surprise. Typically, he's curled up with a book in one of the corners in the foyer or in the library somewhere, but not there. A message comes back from James just saying, doing okay for now, little shaken up from a couple nights ago, but I'm hanging in there, and thumbs up emoji.
I'll be like, that's good. I'll try to see if I can stop by later after I do some studies, and I'm gonna send a nerdy emoji and a thumbs up with the little.
Darling, your mic. I'm sorry.
Forgive my mic. But everything sounding okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you guys don't have to mute every time. You could just not talk.
No, I have background noise, so I
Must
have to.
respect.
But
I must respect this
did you
topic.
hear what I said?
No, because I was unplugging and replugging my mic.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say I'll try to stop by later after my studies, and I'm gonna send him a nerdy emoji, thumbs up, and a little pink heart. And then quickly I'm gonna text Leo and be like, I tried looking for you, I will try later. And then I'm gonna send him a little peace sign and we'll go look for Fame instead.
Since you had no luck finding Leo, Fame thankfully is in his typical spots. A stack of books beside him, and he's also got a pile of supplies on the desk next to him. Stuff that you wouldn't normally see: piles of old locks, little goblets, and seems like ritual components. Nothing he's ever talked to you about much before, but he looks up eagerly as soon as you enter the library. Luna, finally you're here.
I'm gonna like jokingly be like, this is a weird date to put me on.
Well, I have to treat my child right, and I am so excited. He just gets up from the desk, comes over, and shakes you by the shoulders. Finally, I've been waiting for this.
Luna's just like,
I'm sorry, it took such a dramatic move to convince you, but now that you've finally come around, I am so ready to start teaching you. And so he says, come, sit. And he sits down on the opposite side of the desk, looks you straight in the eyes, and says, okay, so what would you like to start with? There's so much I can teach you.
I like to try something simple like corrosive. What was it? Corrosive blood or corrosive?
Corrosive vitae. He gives you a big
Corrosive
smile
vitae.
and he says, one of my favorites. It's a bit overlooked sometimes. People, I don't know, the prudish don't want to shed their own blood. They'd rather use the vitae of others or keep themselves as far removed from any sort of physical touch as possible. But sometimes it's just necessary. After all, we are blood mages. But he scoots a lock in front of you and says, okay, we're going to start with something really simple. This is a padlock. You've seen hundreds of them before, but what I want you to do is break through it. Now, I know you're no luck picker, but use your vitae and make the lock open for you. Just a single drop or two will do it.
Real
And
quick, I want to look at him and make sure he's wearing that headband that we talked about.
He absolutely is, and it looks very
Beautiful.
fashionable on him.
What would I roll for that? Just blood magic?
There's no roll associated. It's a matter of using your vitae and making rolls as you expend additional blood. And the
Oh.
complexity of the object you're trying to break down will dictate how many rolls you have to make. But the first drop doesn't draw too much from you. And make me a... I'm trying to think here. Just roll a d20 for me.
D20?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll it?
Just you can use the, or I guess I can do it for you, but just a single d20 to see if you succeed at this initial attempt.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh.
So many. There's a glitch in the matrix.
That's when the dice attacked.
Oh no! All right, I'm turning off 3D dice. A 7.
No.
That first drop of blood sizzles, and there's the hiss of metal as this acrid smoke rises from the lock. But as you try to pull it and open it, nothing has happened. And Fame gives you a little smile. It says, "Don't worry, I didn't expect it to work the first time. Give it a little bit more of your blood, but be careful. This could rouse the beast, so be wary, my child." And make me a rouse check now as you expend a little additional blood. Rousing success. Your hunger does not increase. You can feel as the vitae oozes out of your veins and drips down onto the lock. And we will roll again. 15. This time, as the droplets spatter around the little arm of the lock connecting it to the base, the metal begins to melt away and corrode, and within a few seconds, surprisingly short amount of time, you are able to pull the bar free, and the lock is destroyed. Fame claps his hands, and he says, "I knew you could do it! Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I have so many more things to teach you." But he comes over and he licks to the wound that you've cut in your finger, and he says, "There, all better." Now, I did promise you that we would go on a shopping trip. Come, come.
Yes.
And so, at that command, he rises from his chair, offers his arm, and escorts you to a car with his ghoul standing by outside to take you to the one mall that's open this late at night, where a bit of a shopping trip can begin.
Lovely. Also, did Leo ever text back?
He texts back as you're getting into the car, and he says, "Sorry, you missed me. I've been holed up in my room. I should have said. Just get in touch later when you're back."
Cute. I'm gonna just send him a thumbs up.
Yep. And as Luna sets off into the night, I am going to transition over to Jason. You have roused from your slumber and feeling okay tonight, considering how the previous night went, but probably a lot going on in your mind.
Fuck, it's tangent. Sorry.
Gosh darn it.
I was responding to Bread. But as my character wakes up and starts a new night, he does the little basic things to get ready for the day, washes his, made sure that before he went to bed to at least wash the clothing that he normally wears, make sure that his hair's kind of combed a little, and whenever he leaves the bathroom, he thinks about the notebook, since he's been carrying around this stuff. He's been thinking about it for the longest, as he looks at his left hand and sees the sharp nails He just shakes his head. I get it. He goes over to... God damn it. This overly energetic music. Yeah, he starts doing a samba.
I mean, this is good getting ready music. You're ready to get up and go.
No, but in honesty, he goes to his backpack, picks up the notebook. Jason in the night, shake that booty. No, he picks up the notebook and opens a few pages to finally look at it before he starts the day. I mean, starts his night. He starts reading through it. After so long,
It's a very thick notebook full of pages that have been cobbled together, glued or taped in, writing scrawled on them, and what looks like ink from a quill pen, perhaps. Little droplets spatter the pages here and there, and it's written in some kind of a code. It's not immediately clear what it says, but there are hundreds of pages contained within.
I scratch my chin with my with my left hand, and I'm kind of scratch myself a little, like, all right, that's it. I know this was out of respect, but he's gotta go. He's haven't really helped out the longest. As I just kind of go the good old-fashioned way of clipping your nails since you don't have clippers.
Oh no.
You bite them. Alright. As he proceeds forward and bites off the sharp edges of the nail. And making it into normal
you
length.
want to roll for that.
Do I want to roll for that?
Give me a dexterity plus
Jesus.
athletics roll.
Oh my
Able to
God.
not bite off your own finger.
It's long nails! Wait, dexterity plus what?
Athletics. You gotta be careful about this.
Oh, you mean the other way around. Athletics plus dex.
Athletics plus dexterity.
Athletics and dex. So,
One success.
what was the difficulty with it?
It is easy, just one, but as you bite away these nails, they catch in your teeth, and they're very tough, and you rip off a couple more carelessly than you should, leaving some of the cuticle exposed. But once you finish, you hold up your hand, and the somewhat jagged ends of the fingernails are all that's left of the long protruding talons you had before.
As I look at my hand, now I can actually use this hand for once without trying to scratch myself. Well, anyways, I look back at the notebook. Well, time to at least figure this out. What is my sire doing? And what is this about? Flipping through the pages, trying to see if there is anything legible I can understand. Is there any of it I can understand, or do I have to roll?
Make me a investigation plus intelligence roll, and give yourself a bonus of 1 for your deduction skill.
Oh, yay. Yeah! Finally, it's being used! Oh my god! 3 successes.
3 successes. The code is very complex and has obviously been built up over years of his own personal musings within this notebook. But glancing through the pages, flipping back and forth, you see a number of symbols repeating. And how long do you want to commit to this?
As I look at it and think, I should solve this first. I sit against the wall, proceeding to at least look at it.
So you're going to spend a good half an hour?
At least half an hour to an hour, and then I'll at least go to, what's her name, the receptionist.
Okay. So in that case, for every 10 minutes that you spend on it, make me another one of that same roll. So you can just hit the reroll button. 5 successes.
Okay.
And give me 1 more for the half hour. 6 successes. Oh my goodness. The longer you look at it, the more clear its contents become to you. You begin matching symbols, making connections, and within a half an hour, a very short amount of time, you can kind of read through it, although it's broken and you feel like you don't completely have mastery of the codex yet, but you're able to determine that this is your sire's personal musings about the state of being undead, his experiences. There's some writing about you, talking about training you, about maintaining his haven, about his interactions with the other Nosferatu in the warrens beneath the city. And on the final pages, as you flip ahead, you start to see his musings about potential detractors within the Camarilla, people who are working against the interests of the kindred of the city, and rings a particular bell with you in light of last night's events.
As I proceed forward, trying to at least go and grab either a sliver or something like that to just write down the names that I was able to interpret from the book.
Okay. You see a couple of names that you recognize. You can't be 100% sure about the spellings or the exact last names or anything, but you do see Greg mentioned in there, someone your sire did not trust in the least. Bit of an outcast within the Nosferatu clan. You also see mention of Zane. And you see mention of a couple names you haven't seen before, but one that might ring a bell. McNeil and another one, Rose.
Neil. As I wrote them down, realizing that I can't trust Zane then. Whenever he, I can trust my sire. That's the only one that's literally my foundation for my sanity. As with all the people I have in my notes, I'm like, shit. Oh, no. That means Hibari's in danger. I get up and I'm like... I look down to the notebook and I try to think about it. Wait. Dent has one of my phones. I can't go out. If I go out, I might lose this haven. I sit back down on the wall. Maybe I can just get in contact with Dent. Hopefully he'll answer me whenever I can. I try to dial up the phone to see if I can get a hold of Dent real quick.
Across the city, down to the south, as you are waking for the night in your haven, Dent, a phone begins ringing off in the distance. You shake yourself and try to regain your awareness of the world, and fortunately you're not feeling particularly hungry this evening, but this noise, the ringing of the phone, is just addling your brain a little bit.
What is that? And I just kind of push my live-in home aside, and I just kind of step out, and I'm just kind of rubbing my face. And I look
Passed out
towards...
on your couch is Oil, who is very close to the phone, and she's blinking and kind of rolling in her sleep as the sound is right beside her head, a very obnoxious alarm clock.
I just grab the phone, and I start fidgeting with it because I don't actually understand what's going on, and then I just click it. What looks like a little green button, and I just click that. But, hello? And I'm just holding it like upside down as I'm walking back to my room.
As I just start making notes. Dent?
Dent? Wait, hold on, wait, and I just adjust it so where like the little speaker's next to my mouth now. Yeah. Jason?
I hear it. Like, here's the noise of him rubbing his face against the microphone.
His
And
voice
you
is
just
a
hear
little
him
bit muffled, but you can hear this crushing sound of hair rubbing against the speaker.
Beautiful.
Jesus Christ! As I'm like, Dan, whenever you can get a chance, can you meet me at the school? I tell him the university that I'm currently at.
You know the location well, Dent. The place where many events went down a handful of nights ago. Left behind a couple of bodies. You had a good old time.
Yeah, I just kind of giggle. Oh, that place.
I kind of look at the phone in question of why he's giggling about it, but then I just shrug it off. I need to give you some information, but I can't do it over the phone.
That's perfectly understandable. These things are. Look, it's better that we do this in person anyway, because I don't understand. I don't know about these devices that you carry. As I just, where do you even put these? All of them come from your bag, right?
Yeah. I always make sure to carry plenty, and whenever I'm out, I can either find scrapped phones or those recycle bins where people try to sell them for a few bits. You can rip those easily out of those. It's not a hard thing, especially whenever I'm a little bit of expertise with that kind of thing, since my living life was boring. But enough of that about that. This information I have, I need to at least pass it on to you, because I scratch my head a little as you just can hear me just going, I can trust you.
Of course you can.
And
we're friends, aren't we? At least I think so.
I snicker though. Yeah, we're friends, but
hey.
But for now, I need you to look into this, because I walk past and back and forth a little. It's very important. I'll at least explain more whenever you get here. Get here as soon as I can.
As I'm listening to the end of what Jason's saying, I'm shaking awake oil. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Wait, what is it? What? She flops out of the couch and looks up at you. Dent, what's going on?
I'm gonna need you with just having the phone just kind of away from my ear, because I'm trying to also hear Jason but talk to Oil, so I just have it distances away from my face.
I'm able to hear this.
I'm gonna need you to go watch our guest in the bathroom and make sure if he needs anything, just bring it to him. If he gets uppity, start cutting off pieces. I don't care. You just do what you feel is best.
She pulls out her knife and stalks down the hall toward the bathroom, banging on the door before letting herself in. You can hear the sound of a slight scuffle in there and a few shouts from Greg. Hey, what's happening?
Don't worry, Greg. She's gonna take care of you while I'm gone. I'll see you in a little bit. And I just start walking out of the room. All right, Jason. I'll see you at the universe. Where are we meeting? Any place in particular?
I think about it. Meet me on the outside, because I start thinking about the people I can trust at this point. Because right now, with everything how it is so far, we gotta at least be careful on who we believe is our allies right now.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I got you. And without pressing anything, because I don't know how to operate this, I just snap it in half.
As I hear it just go, and I'm like, ow. I shake my head. God damn it, Dent, you're learning from me. As I also crush mine. You just go,
And I just make my way, because I realize that with Oil having always kind of driven me around, I'm not the best with vehicles, so I'm just gonna try and sprint there as best I can.
I'm just gonna run for it.
Yep, I don't sweat and I don't breathe, so it doesn't matter to me.
But it is still early enough in the evening that mortals will be out and about, so if you want to continuously sprint so fast that no one can see you, you'll have to make a number of rouse checks as you cannot stop.
I will use rooftops if I can to get there.
Rooftops?
You're gonna do Oh my god, Spider-Man.
You'll have to be careful plotting your route, but you could perhaps find your way over. After all, you do know the area fairly well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna need a series of dexterity and athletic checks, plus some celerity usages. So let's see here. In order to simplify this, I'm going to make it into a bit of a relay race. So
Okay.
give
Oh, wait.
me...
I don't have
Yes?
celerity, Vic.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I can't.
So
Otherwise, I just run fast there. Just zoom.
Oh dear. Well, that's a different story then.
Oh,
jeez.
no.
This is gonna be great. All right.
Let's see. You didn't take a soaring leap either, so.
Oh no.
Just gonna hop to the. This is probably really close. I'm in like the middle of like the friggin' town, so it's or the city.
I was thinking you had some powers you didn't, so as GM, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say you don't possess the ability. You might know the rooftops well, but you don't quite have that wherewithal to go jumping
Can't
between buildings
Spider-Man
just
this.
yet. You need to invest in a few more skills
I
first.
just rubbed my chin. Would have been really cool.
It would be really
I'll
cool.
probably just walk. I'll probably just walk there.
Okay. It's a bit of a walk, but you can be there in an hour or so.
Okay. As back in my side, once I informed him about that, I'm like, ah, shit. How am I gonna at least convince the receptionist? I look over at the notes I wrote down of the 4 people that I knew. It's weird. If they went after my sire, they only thought he didn't write it down, so why aren't they going after me then? I scratch my chin. Well, it doesn't matter right now. If whatever's going on and if it is the worst case scenario, I don't know who should we give this information outside of Dent then. Walking back and forth more, trying to at least figure this out. Because Dent would probably be able to contact someone, anyone. I thought about it. Maybe the prince? No. I don't know if I should get him involved because I don't know how deep this is. How deep this is. Because if he's involved himself in humans, Lumen just feels a tinge of pain. Rude. But as I think about it, well, for now, at least let me proceed forward, and hopefully I can at least convince the receptionist to give me one more day. I quickly hurry out, putting on my clothing, and using my new, nice, non-sharp claw-like hand to at least pick up my bag, and my other hand to at least put on my cloak. And I head out, shutting the door behind me. Heading on a new adventure. Actually, no, I'm just heading back over to the reception desk as I knock and having my hood on. I'm just like, excuse me.
Inside is Clarissa, right where she's been every night since you arrived, surrounded by piles of paperwork, constantly tapping away on her computer, and she gives you a very distracted look as you enter. Oh, it's you. Have you finally come to do some work for a change?
About that. As I scratch my head. Can I... Oh my god, I'm gonna actually try this since even though it's gonna be hard. Can I lie and say that Zane wanted me to do something for him?
If you want to lie to her, I'm going to need a subterfuge and manipulation roll.
You're gonna lie to Zane's goal?
Yes. You know why? Because she'll believe it. If I am...
Zane's goal. No, what would they call it?
But if I can if she believes me enough, because right now with the notes I got and the notebook, because I have the notebook with me.
Roll it. I want to see what you get.
Fuck. Okay, so subterfuge and what?
Subterfuge and manipulation. Also, I need more appropriate music for intrigue.
Okay. Dang it. Because I also need to feed soon, because those 2 stacks still bother me. Well, fuck it.
Ooh!
0 successes.
Can I reroll that with my willpower?
You could reroll it, and you could buff up your manipulation with a use of your vitae, but you would need to make a rouse check.
Whoa.
You may want the boobies.
I'm doing it. I'm doing the rouse check, please.
All right. You don't gain any hunger, and you feel yourself becoming a little bit more enticing, a little bit more able to talk someone into something. So make me that roll again. The subterfuge +1.
And manipulation, and then doop, and then
Lot of
doop.
fun.
All right, here we go.
1 success.
Yay!
That's better.
Yay.
Yeah, but now it depends on what's Vic's level of what's the challenge for the lie.
So, what are you telling her exactly?
So, all right. So here goes. My lie is basically going to be so I have to do something for Zane, so I won't be able to make it due to the fact that your your sire needs me to do something for him. And I know I said I would, but whenever, he asked me for a favor, he's the one that got me here. I can't really deny him, I guess.
She just lets one of her eyebrows creep up her forehead as you're speaking, and she looks very skeptical, and she says, "What kind of a favor?"
He said to meet up with my friend Dent to go to a specific location that seemed off. It's relating to something involving a masquerade?
She rolls her eyes. And this is a favor for the Baron, then?
Yes, apparently. Making sure that my wandering eyes aren't possible to see since my hood's over my face. So, yeah, I won't be able to, but I just need one more day. I promise I'll be able to, work. Just give me one more day, but this is very important.
No one's really using the room right now aside from you, so I guess one more day wouldn't hurt, but she just kind of puts a fist up to her chin, looks at you, tilts her head to the side, and she's like, "Well, what's really going on? Why are you always away? What's going on that has you so busy?"
As I scratch my head. As I lift my head up, even if my hood's... I slightly adjust my hood and give her a look, showing her my eyes, and I try to look as proud as possible. I'm trying to protect my sire.
As a ghoul, I don't have quite that same relationship. I'd do anything for my master, of course, but I respect that you want to take care of people. Just remember that you're not staying here out of the goodness of our hearts, We do need help around the campus, so when you have the chance, I would appreciate a little assistance.
I nod as I just cover back up, just scratching my head. Yeah, I understand, and I'll try to at least make up for it, I promise.
Okay. And no more freeloaders. You tell that other guy that he needs to clear out tonight. No special deals for him.
As I look and tilt my head, freeloader?
No, Hibari, you have woken up in your own little flat on the campus where you were holed up for the night. You were able to make your way in thanks to the help of the groundskeeper, but as soon as the sun went down, you hear a pounding on your door with someone outside telling you need to clear out.
Uh, I oversleep again.
Hmm.
I checked my phone to see what time it was.
When knocking comes on the door again and they tell you, look, you can't stay here anymore, all right? I don't know what they told you, but if you want to set up something, go talk to the receptionist. She can figure this out. I got stuff to do, and they stalk away.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll get ready. As I go in to go freshen myself up. I look at my phone, contemplating to see if I should call my master.
You do have an unread text message from McNeil on your phone, sent very early this evening.
Message. I should take a look at it.
The message is very short and to the point. It says, "Where are you? You didn't come home last night. Report in as soon as possible."
I just text him, okay, I'm on my way.
So you make your way out of your flats, and off in the distance, you see a familiar figure leaving the office building. Figure wearing a very dark hoodie, slouched a little bit, moving through the shadows.
Go say hi. I just said that in my head. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Inner monologue in my head. Dang it. Missed it. Get this next time. So what you doing here? Seems like I never would expect you to be back at this school. I'm sorry. I am completely confused on what I should do. That's actually a really good question. Who is who I'm talking to?
Talking to you, Jason.
Oh shit! Sorry, I looked
Oh
away
my
and
God.
then my brain is just like,
Wait, I was talking to you?
yeah. So like, I walk
Well,
over and
sheep.
I look up and I'm like, oh, Hibari. I wanted to say something about the information I got from my sire's notebook, and I just closed my mouth.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm about to do something with Dent. Where are you heading off to?
I have to go meet up with my sire.
Okay.
He needs me to go report in.
Okay. I'll let you go then, but I touch his shoulder and just give it a gentle pat, and I walk past as I murmur, whatever you do, don't trust him. As I walk past him and heading off. Also, welcome back, Sakura.
Welcome back. That's my sire.
As I head my separate ways from Hibari to head outside to wait for Dent. Hibari, what are you doing?
I was thinking about why you're saying don't trust my sire. Why would he say that? Something definitely must be going on. Well, anyway, should go check in with him. As I head to my car.
Once you're back in the car, you're gonna head straight back to your sire's haven.
Yes.
Okay.
Gonna head straight back to the haven.
All right. And Jason, you are standing out on the campus waiting for Dent to arrive.
Doing my own normal habits. If whenever I'm just waiting, I'm still sticking with the shadows.
And as you wait, anyone else you're going to get in contact with, or just leaving it as is?
While I'm just waiting there, shuffling in my book bag, I pull out a new phone and put it in my pocket as I think about it, maybe. Wait, did I ever get a way to contact Luna? Yeah or no?
Luna, did you ever give him any kind of contact information?
I mean, yeah, because I did call him.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is I just destroyed that phone.
I don't know. It's up to you. Then.
Fuck. Am I able to remember the phone number?
Make me a awareness plus in wits. +1 for deduction.
Yeah. Where is it? Sorry, give me a sec. Please hold it. Why didn't they put it in? Oh, right there. Why did they put it in a weird order? But whatever. So wits, so bup, and then I do the bup.
2 successes. You think you can remember? You gonna attempt to call that number that you're remembering?
Okay, as I take out the phone and I'm like, might as well since she's a part of this too now. I dial the number and try to call Luna. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop.
Luna, at this very moment, you are currently at the mall trying on some outfits, but you hear your phone ringing out in the lobby where Fame is waiting for you. And after a couple of rings, you hear him answer the phone. Jason, on your end, you hear an unfamiliar male voice answer the phone saying, "Hello, who's calling?"
Oh, sorry, this might be the wrong number, but, is, Luna, there?
And how do you know Luna?
Protective sires.
Oh, it's because I requested a mission of sorts. I requested help, and...
Wait. I recognize your voice. He thinks about it. You can hear him scratching in his chin. He says, "Yeah, you were the one shouting in the background." You guys did a number on that other Kendra, didn't you?
We
Wow.
did what we had to do.
Say no more. Can never trust these lines, but you need something from my girl?
I need a way to contact her that I can give her some information that is important, I guess, since what's going on with me and the noise that you heard on her side. I'm sorry to say this, but she might be involved now because of me requesting help.
So this is something urgent, then?
I mean, I scratch my head, putting my hand through the hood, and I'm just like, not... It is, but I only just want to see when she would be available so that I can tell her what I found.
Well, you've got her number, but I have an idea. I'll send someone over to talk with you in person. We're a little preoccupied right now, but don't worry, Luna. We'll get back to you.
Uh, yeah.
In the background, he just hears Luna, Fame, I want these shoes!
Oh, of course, my child. Anything you want.
I try to cover a little sigh, just going. I just putting my hand on my left hand on my face as I put the phone away a little bit. Why am I trying to tell her this? This is in my head, but I'm just doing a sigh, and I'm just like, as I'm like, all right, can I get the person's name that I know that I can be aware of, and how they look visually?
Where are you?
I look around, and I'm currently at a university as I give them the information.
Oh, I know the place. Luna's been up there on business recently. Well, I'll send over an associate of mine. Just look out for short women, dark hair, very beautiful. You'll know her when you see her. Goes by Mara.
Mara. I nod. All right. Thank you again.
Don't thank me. Thank her. And be safe. These evenings are always dangerous lately.
I grit my teeth. It's going to be more than you think. As I hang up on the phone, hang up the phone. Proceed to smash it.
Oh my goodness.
That was 2 phones so far.
Are you keeping track of how many phones you have left?
Yes, actually.
A pair of students walking past you just glance at you out of the sides of their eyes, but keep walking, trying not to catch your attention.
Okay, so okay, so 14, 13, 12. So I'm currently at 12. 12 phones. So I have 12 burners.
1 smashed phone. 2 smashed phones.
3 smash phones.
All the phones are gone now. You just
I
start
hope you
smashing.
have money to keep replacing these.
No, I either take them from the dumpster or I steal them. You know, like, have you ever seen those machines that that people put it in this little thing and it gives them like cash for it, but it's like.
No.
Okay, so.
My city's very far behind in technology.
Okay, well, in my city there is these machines that you can put the phones in that you can get cash for them, but they're not going to be that
Seriously?
much. Yeah, they're like.
I had like 5 unused phones I could have turned in.
Yep, you could too. But yeah, no. So there's those, but I'm at least in this instance, it's either I'm gonna get them from a dumpster, get them from like a recycling bin that like gives you cash, or just anything like that. Vic, you have that, and you're like in Seattle, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, yeah. So I usually.
I'm sorry, my city's so far behind in technology.
I'm not saying it's sorry. I'm still saying it's convenience. Because it's convenience, I normally steal them. Or Jason steals them.
How are we supposed to save your number then? I'd assume it's a different number every time.
They are all linked.
Because
okay.
Okay, so with my character at least really up to the point with the amount of with technology, especially since I put stats into technology. What's my
Your
since
technology
I am a smart boy, and
you
I
have
put
2 points in technology.
I was able to.
I mean, most not-scratchers do.
Yeah, so I made it so it makes all the SIM cards that are connected to each smartphone these exact same numbers. So instead of simply just one phone going off, if I have all the other phones turned off and turn one on, it triggers that one as the main one. Whenever there's 2 separate phones and I call one to the other, it will still treat it as a separate phone. but still using the exact same SIM card.
Also, a side note, Dent is whistling the whole trip there.
Of course.
I got you, Sakura.
Yeah, you gotta do the Batman theme song.
Oh no.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I'm not that good at whistling. I don't
No,
think
we're just-
You just reminded me of that one.
I feel like Dent wouldn't
I
care if
like
he's good at
comic
whistling or not,
books.
though.
True. But he doesn't know the Batman theme song because he doesn't watch TV.
That's fair. That's a bigger problem.
Damn it,
Well, his own version that he imagines in his head.
That he's not completely unaware of things that man have made.
Yeah, no. Just phones and television. That's about it. Unless he heard something from Oil or someone else.
And comics are a thing. He'd probably once or twice seen a comic and seen Batman.
He's just in his head. Banana.
Yes. Yes. That's what's going on.
Oh my god.
Batman, he's the Batman, gonna punch you in the face, Batman.
Pow.
He starts
Wow,
doing little
damn.
fist pumps and just doing little jabs in the air like Batman,
You have
Batman,
no
he's the
idea.
man.
If there's someone walking down the street, on
Oh,
the
there
same street
are
as
people that
Dent,
you're passing by, and
they
some
just
of
see him
them
making,
give you
like,
sideways
kung fu
glances, but
moves, and he's just like sidestepping around people.
a couple people cross the
Wonderful.
street when they see you coming, punching at the air. But
So great.
But yeah, so I'm currently at 12 the burners, but yeah, no. So that's my basic logic with how I'm rewiring the phones, having somewhat close to the exact same like SIM card, but it makes it think whenever I try to call the same number that it'll still reach to the other one that's active. So that's how I have it set up in my brain. It's weird, but it works in brain. Doesn't make sense in real life. Don't worry about that. Real life doesn't mean shit.
well, as events are in motion, a little time passes. Jason, you're waiting on the quad, and the first one to arrive at your little meeting. Have you chosen a spot where you're going to be waiting for everyone on the campus?
It was rather the entrance that I kind of informed Dent to at least meet me by. But
Just
I'm
milling
using
around the faculty building.
Yeah, just as long as it's the entrance. But I'm sticking to the shadows because with everything that happened more recently, I can't trust that if we would be safe out in the open, more or less. So I'm sticking with the shadows. Standing
There
still,
are a
using my
number of
blending.
students coming and going. The faculty building is pretty much quiet and still this time of night, and all of the administrators have gone home. Clarissa is the only one that you've ever seen inside this time of night. Maybe a couple of interns, students doing late night work, but for the most part, it's just little cliques of students hanging out on the quad. And off in the distance, a figure walks up, crests the top of a hill at the edge of campus, and begins walking in your general direction, making small jabs at the air, and you can hear a toot in the air as he approaches.
As I look around, I trigger my heightened senses just in case to keep an eye out for anyone.
As you do so, you hear a very off-tune, very original rendition of the Batman theme song. Nothing that sounds correct to you, but he's very into it.
I just snicker a little. I'm like, jeez. As I just turn off my heightened senses and walk out, making sure to keep an eye out of things, because even though like the living had a chance, I mean, it would have been possible for the living to have more freedom in the daytime. I was surprised that there wasn't anything after that.
Dent, you see this hooded figure step out from the large building straight ahead, sticking to the shadows, but clearly looking in your direction.
I know that as the tall tale signs of Jason, so I just stride up. I stop with my kung fu grip and my whistling, and I just stride up to the sidewalk. Jason! Hey, buddy.
Hey. it's good to see you. See that you ended up getting plenty of rest.
Yeah. I mean, you have to take care of your undead body, even if it's, well, no longer amongst the living.
I nod. Yeah, so for now, I look around. Let's head inside and make sure there's no one watching us, okay?
Yeah, and I got a lot of things to ask you about phones now, because I want to see, because you know how I see some people and they're listening to music on the phones. It's weird, right? I want to like know how to do that. I also want to borrow another one of those phones of yours. You know, it's just the one of the expendable ones that you're using.
I laugh a little. Yeah, I'll teach you a little, but for now, let's get into why I brought you here. As
Yeah.
I guided you in, and I quickly tried to take you all the way back to my room. I take you there, and
as you are close to your apartment, a very nice car rolls up onto the campus. It's slowly making its way through the drive, and as it nears the two of you, it slows to a stop. A door pops open and a figure steps out. Very tall, imposing figure straightens a suit jacket and makes his way to the back, opening another door and letting out a very slim figure who steps onto the sidewalk, giving it a little bit of a look to make sure that it's not covered in too much dirt.
Would
the
you like to show them the outfit while I
Ye-
give them a brief description of what she looks like?
Go for it.
You see this small, pale skinned woman with vibrant scarlet red hair that like reaches down to like mid back. She's wearing a jumpsuit that's red and a leather black jacket. She's wearing sunglasses. She's got a claw ring on her. What the fuck is this called? Her pointer finger. I forgot my ring. My
Index.
The
fingers.
index? Yeah.
Index. And she seems to have flower piercings, like earring piercings. Never really gave her goal an appearance yet. She's just a tall, built dude with some really nice pushed back hair. I'm also gonna need you to change the details to color, please.
Of course. Let's just flip over to that page. Let's see.
Oh, was that the person I was waiting for? Or? Okay.
No, I love how you left Mr. Sparkles.
God damn it.
But if you have the picture, if not, I could look for what she's wearing. Or did you post it?
I put them in the vampire link, the ones that
Okay.
you sent to me.
There you go.
Okay. As I paused and saw the vehicle turn back around, kind of get tense, but then I see it was someone else I was waiting for as I stopped guiding Dent.
I look towards Jason. That a friend of yours?
It was supposed to be Luna, but I'm under the assumption her sire, because it sounded like a male.
Flashback to Save, I want these shoes.
As I just shake my head and just to recompose myself. Luna's busy with something. So her sire must have brought in, like, asked someone else to at least get the information for her. So I don't know if we can trust her, but just keep on your guard, because I found a lot of information that might also affect Luna.
Hey, don't worry, buddy, old pal. I don't trust anyone. Kind of the rule.
Valid point. Well, let's head out. As I stepped out, making sure to hold the door for Dent as well.
Eyes wish on by.
And Mara, you see these two figures heading towards an apartment. Your
Wait,
ghoul has
no.
escorted you outside.
Hold it.
Yes,
We turned around.
I see.
We turned
So you were
around.
headed into your apartment, but now you've done a 180.
We done a 180 because we heard the vehicle come up.
Mm-hmm. So you're now approaching the vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why I opened the door, because originally we were going to at least head back inside. And also Sakura has uno momento.
Okay.
But myself and Dent at least decided to turn around because I forgot that we were waiting for one additional person. But it was still important to do it anyway, so as myself and Dent, do you want to wait until Sakura comes back for this next? Okay, so we'll wait.
But Mara, I want to get your impressions. You've stepped out of the car. Mr. Slate has assisted you out into the cool night air, and this is a new place for you. You haven't been around this part of town much. But when Fame asked you for a favor, it seemed like a good idea to help him out. After all, he's always good about it.
Welcome back.
And you see two figures before you. One very tall, with head shaved bald and a large scar over his eye. The other hooded and slightly slouched, trying to keep to the shadows.
Do their appearances hurts me?
Fuck you too!
The campus is fairly well maintained. Obviously, their groundskeeper does a decent job, but there is a little bit of trash here and there. Students, they can be a little bit dirty. They don't always think before they act. So, a few chip wrappers and little cigarette butts scattered on the sidewalk.
Ugh, such a mess. And I put Slate's arm over my shoulder, and then I'm just gonna eye the two, just examine their clothes and their features.
As whenever I go up and I'm like, oh, you must be the person I'm trying to relay some information to Luna, right?
Yes, Fame informed me I was supposed to talk to you.
Yeah, I scratch my chin a little and I'm like, yeah, if you can, I go to the bag and I pull out one of the burner phones and I open up the back and I pull out the SIM card and break the SIM card and throw it to the side. I close it and then I turn it on to at least type down in the notes all the information I gathered, letting them know that I have a notebook with all the information. And with that information, it's going to connect all the people that could possibly be going to possibly betray the kindred. As the names I put in order of Greg, Zane, McNeil, and Rose as the most notable ones. As I put save onto this phone that has no chip or anything like that. But excuse me. Also, welcome back, Zero. And at the same time, I hand her the phone. So, right now, this phone is gonna have all the information you need.
Got it.
As I hand it to her. I'm fast.
Wait, what are you handing?
I handed her a cell phone that I put in the notes all the information that I've looked into the notebook I read through the notebook my sire was working on, and I gave her as all the information, and specifically the 4 people that are possibly going to conspire against the kindreds: Greg, Zane, McNeil, and Rose. Those names are key names that stood out to me as I handed to her. This is very important. Try to at least get it to either her or her sire as soon as possible, please.
I lean over and whisper to Jason. have a backup of that.
I look over. I'll write you a new one, but I also have to teach you how to do it. But I need to tell you more than that.
I nod.
As
Do
I
I
hand it.
recognize any of these names?
Wait, can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Do I recognize any of these names?
No, I turned off the phone. Because I
Well-
put in the notes, and then I turned off the phone after I saved the notes
Okay,
and
well, I'm
handed
gonna turn it on.
it. As I look at her, wait, no! Please don't turn that on.
And I'm just gonna look at the phone.
As you skim over the names before Jason snatches it back away from you, you don't recognize the first couple, but Rose rings a bit of a bell. I
Ricky.
mean,
No, sorry. Sorry, Breaky's in chat being like, go to bed. I'm like, no, you.
let's see.
This was
It's written with quotation marks. Maybe not an exact name, but obviously you are of the clan of the Rose, so it seems somehow relevant to you. But you couldn't pinpoint anyone in particular.
just Rose.
Just Rose.
Alright, I'm gonna look at him and be like, you'd kind of have to be specific here, you know? That could target a whole clan.
I know, but still, those are the key things that I learned about, as I didn't want to divulge any more information about the notebook. Because those are the key names. And I know it might endanger certain clans, but I'd rather at least inform Luna about that and her sire now. Because now that you read that, you're... I sigh and scratch my head a little in the frustration. You're kind of part of this now, in a way.
An accomplice. I just chimed
I'm
in.
not part of everything. But I would like to know more because Shane is a good friend of mine.
Nice.
Kind of putting him and his child in a little bit of a predicament.
I trying to keep all the information minimum to her. I can't say too much because right now I'm in a situation that I can't divulge everything. And I hate to make it sound rude as I look away. I don't know you, so I can't 100% trust
You
you.
don't even know Luna either.
Yes, this is true, but she's the one that was there, a part of this, so I see it that it's important to keep her in the loop, I guess, as they put it. I don't know. Yes, I'm
Well,
just...
I got special permission, and I'm gonna hold up a phone with a text from Luna that's saying that it's okay to give me more info.
So I just...
These phone things are very convenient.
I put my hand on my face. God damn it, you and your fucking shoes. I rubbed my eyes at all. I'm like, fine. So I'm just...
Listen, I'll level with you here. It's easier to give information via talking than on technology.
I know, but you know we can't trust technology. That's why...
Exactly.
Although it is kind of fun.
I look over at Dan. This is true, but for now, I guess since you're here, all right, come on, just follow me then. And also, can you do me a favor and tell the individual that brought you out of the cart to keep an eye out, especially for black SUVs?
Slate
It's like,
leans
darling.
down, just meeting your eyes, Mara, and kind of eyes back and forth between Jason and you. You want me to do it?
Let's lightly caress his face. Please.
Anything for you. Stands up and puts his back to the car, and just leaning casually as he watches the surrounding area with a hawk-like gaze.
It's just wave. Just waving very nonchalantly at him.
You just be
At,
like,
the guy.
hi, hello, how are
He
you?
does not even acknowledge you, Dent. His eyes pass straight over you.
Oh my god.
This is great. This is all great.
Forgive him. He's very focused when he's on work.
Hey, that's no problem.
Respectable, as I think how much I've avoided on trying to work. Anyways, follow me, please, as I try to lead the two on the inside. And I guide them
But
to my room
seriously, I
finally.
need one of those. I need
Okay.
one of those phones. We're having a conversation up to your room. Like just like a small one, maybe. And then, can I read books on this thing? I just pull a phone out of his bag.
Dent, don't touch my stuff, please. As I take
Okay,
the
going
phone.
through.
I just want to know. I just put it back with 2 fingers and just slide it back in.
This is great.
Dent, I swear, last time you did that, you gave me a 20. But this time, I'm
And
not
this-
gonna let you.
There's 100% next to the phone as I'm sliding it back in. Just behind it, there's like a $20 bill in there.
God damn
I just put it in.
I just get so frustrated, but I'm just like, this is Dent. This is the person I call a friend. This is gonna be normal. As I open the door to my room, and I'm like, please, come in, you two. Dent, I'll give you the phone you're looking for. Just give me a moment so that we can all be inside, and hopefully, I look around. No one's here to come after us. Let's just say.
I think you should take a closer look around, just to be safe.
I trigger heightened senses, and I try to at least listen if there is any new movement, any voices, anything, even just a walkie-talkie.
You've been on the campus for about a week now, so you are fairly accustomed to the sounds of students making their way around at night. Sounds of distant cars, animals moving through the forest nearby, but nothing sounds out of the ordinary right now. There is the slightly unfamiliar sound of Slate outside tapping his fingers against the hood of the car as he waits, but beyond that, nothing too alarming.
As I disable my heightened senses, no, nothing here yet.
Also, Jason, I'd like you to describe what this room is like, because you've been here a little bit. Have you done anything to personalize it? How is it looking at the moment?
Oh, fuck no, I'm just... I only have one pair of clothes, and I just use the sink to wash in and let it dry while I'm sleeping.
Oh.
And I
Alright,
wake up and I
you
get
see
dressed.
that there is a bottle of soap near the sink, and it looks like
You're an
someone's
edgy
been doing laundry
Mickey.
there.
Oh.
As
I'm
I...
gonna try not to make it visible, but I'm just like, oh.
Well, it's in my bathroom, so I just shut the bathroom door. I'm sorry about that. As it was just
Nice place.
It was an empty room. There's no chairs or anything like that, since I just use it as a place to lay down. Sorry, I don't really have anything in here. As you can say, I don't have much other than the stuff in my book bag. As I wave them to sit down, please, we gotta at least get started. And as I sit down, I put my backpack beside me as I sit against the wall.
I just lean next to a wall, and I'm just eyes constantly darting towards all like the windows and listening towards the door as I'm listening to Jason.
What
Yeah,
I'm just like
the-
nonchalantly scrolling through a phone and be like, do you need more clothes? I can get you more hoodies.
No.
You're gonna buy him hoodies? Buy him more phones.
My science sketch. No, it's okay. I don't need those. My sire, I mean, well, I kind of don't like keeping a bunch of stuff. The only thing I keep are the stuff in my backpack because I'm kind of boring like that. I don't like to own anything as much as what I have right now, other than maybe a book or two, since my haven was burnt down. But anyways, let's focus on the task at hand. I take out a new phone and I just look at it. I turn it on and I hand it over to Dent. All right, so this is a pretty basic phone. You should be able to understand a lot of it.
I'll name her Sheila.
As I sigh, as I think about it, I'll have to at least write you a little instructions after we're done talking about this. But after handing him that, I pull out from my backpack and show an old notebook. This here is what my sire had. He wrote down a lot of information. Funny enough, he was a writer. He loved to write mysteries. And because of that, he looked into actual mysteries too. As I open it up and reveal that it's all like with a bunch of shows the scruff writing and the ink from the old pen and just all the numbers and the digits that don't make sense. Here, as I flip it and make it face in their direction, is all the information that I was able to, decipher on what he was trying to look into. All the information, all of what he was looking into. As I look away, all the stuff about me and my being taught by him since... Didn't you know, but... Mara... Wait, did she ever introduce herself?
Not beyond the normal introduction, no.
Okay, so it's like... But, you don't know, but ma'am. But, anyways, so what my sire at least informed me about was... through the notes, he ended up bringing up a couple of names. I take out a piece of paper and reveal the 4 names that pointed it out: Greg, Zane, McNeil, and Rose. Dent, I called you here because I know I can't trust my phones. I know that I have them set up in a way where even if they could try to track me, I can easily lose it in a heartbeat. But I think Zane's also one of the people that are going to probably betray us.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. Very much so, and I'm worried about Hibari. Because it also shows, as I point out, the name McNeil.
Yeah. Do you know how to get a hold of that guy? And you know where he went to with this McNeil place? Because I have some contacts I could probably find out, but if you already know, that would save me a lot of trouble. If you're planning on, as they say in the books, being a hero about it.
Not really a hero, but if push comes to shove, we might end up having to fight Hibari. That's the only thing that I've been thinking about a lot. I want to at least guide him in the direction that I don't want him to at least be our enemy. If he can be our ally, that's way better, but worst case scenario is we might have to fight him due to the fact his loyalty is to his sire, McNeil.
I think I can make a friend out of him.
Fair enough. And then the last one, also, darling, did it say more than Rose, or is it just Rose?
That's what you were able to decipher so far.
Okay. And the last name that bothers me the most is this name that I was only able to decipher as much as I could since my sire likes mysteries. This entire notebook is filled with it. The name Rose. There's no last name, just Rose.
Maybe it's a hint to something? I don't know you or your sire very well, but maybe it's something that you share, or maybe something that he knew you'd kind of take the hint on.
Well, to be fair, with all of with all that what happened, especially my haven being burnt to the ground, I can't say for sure, but if he believes it, I mean, if you think he could, then it's a possibility. Touching my chin a little, because right now, these are the names that we have to at least figure out what they're like outside of probably. What was the organization for the humans that want to at least kill off the vampires?
The Second Inquisition.
Because they might be also associated to the Second Inquisition.
You mean those guys shooting the fire guns?
Very much so.
Ah, interesting. So that's what they call themselves. Good to know.
Yeah, that's what my sire informed me. He told me a lot of things, especially anything about what's going on in the streets. And with this kind of information, how Zane was saying that he was associated to my sire, I don't know who we can trust at this point. The only ones I think we can trust so far is Luna and probably our sire. I don't know if they'll either betray us or not.
Depends on if they find an angle.
That's true. As I look over at, is it pronounced Mara?
Mara.
Yeah, I look over at Mara. I'm sorry to be rude, but what's your opinion about this, since these guys might be related to the Second Inquisition?
Well, obviously I'm not on board with your idea. Isn't the Inquisition nothing about killing us?
And
I don't.
I grit my teeth. And that's why we have to stop these 4 people on this notebook. Whatever they're at least hiding, they're hiding something big. And as Dent found, I look over at Dent, because you found something on their body, yeah?
Yeah, that I did. Something very interesting.
They're making more tech, or they're making, with the technology they're making and with everything that's going on right now. I look down at the notebook with everything that's going on and how my sire's looking into all this information as well. It seems like they're getting some kind of technology. Guns that can shoot fire. Well, incendiary rounds, per se. And then also being able to find our location whenever Zane said that he had some guys send our way. But I can't tell if that was a lie or not. It all seems to be connected one way or another. And with the information I at least told him, I looked around. I fibbed. I told him we only had one person that remained alive that's a human. I lift up using my left hand, but we have 2 people that are alive. And with that, I want to see if we're able to either, 1, bait him into some kind of trap, or B, see if we can at least interrogate the other person that we still have in our hands and find out the truth if these 4 people are truly a part of the Second Inquisition as a double agent, per se.
Actually reminds me, I pull out the perfume bottle that Luna gave me, and I walk up to the fancily dressed woman, and I just open her hand and just put it in her hand. You mind giving that back to Luna? I kind of ran out of it after helping a friend of ours with their fragrance. Yes.
Of course.
Thank you. And I just walk back up to the wall. Speaking of our mutual friend Jason, now knowing this, well, Me and him have some wonderful stories to tell one another, but I think the most pressing concern here is, well, the star player in this wonderful little lineup, besides this mysterious rose that may or may not even be a person. That's Zane.
I don't know what to do either, Dent. As I stand back up. Right now, we're in a place that's, like, technically his hunting ground. The place that he watches. Right now, we're in a spot that he could either A, inform the Inquisition on my location, or just anyone's location. To be fair, he has the cards. The only thing that's been bothering me the most is, why hasn't he played them by now? As I start walking back and forth, pacing. Also, Vic. Blank says, for some reason, Mars page keeps going to detail. Oh, never mind. Okay. So, as I keep rubbing my chin. So, the question is, but that's why I'm just curious on why is he not playing his cards, because in a way he knows where we are.
Well, it's simple, really. Because, well, he wishes to stay underneath the radar of the prince. I mean, nobody likes the prince, but nobody wishes to cross him either.
Valid point. And with our current circumstances, but the issue is, then why is... I keep walking back and forth with this, because with what happened yesterday, the prince would have known that. I mean, noticed that, or someone that's associated to the prince would at least informed him about what happened that night.
Well, I'm sure he probably already knows everything that's going on to this extent.
Then why isn't he not doing anything? I look over to Den. Why does my sire have to go into hiding whenever these assholes are trying to kill us?
Because, Jason, they enjoy the long con. Neither one of them has acted yet, waiting for the other to make their move, and we are nothing more than the pawn, moving their pieces for them.
I grit my teeth. Well, I hate it. That's why I'm gonna at least make the first move then.
You wish to do something about Zane?
I grip my chest. Until my sire at least says otherwise, until he contacts me, I'm at least gonna... I want the truth from Zane.
I feel like the only way you're gonna get that is a direct approach, my friend.
I know. And that's the thing that bothers me the most, because I don't know if we're... I look over at Amara. If we're prepared for it. Right now, we're in his territory. That if we go in there, we will have nothing to protect us. That we will be sitting ducks if he would just want to snap his fingers.
Hey Jason, how do you feel about arson?
I scratch my chin with my left hand. I know you're... Dent, that's a good idea. But the only thing is, right now, we're making assumptions. We gotta at least confirm it.
I'm just curious. I'm still wondering about Zane himself, because he could still be a reasonable sort of fellow, even if he's mayhaps a turncoat of sort. He's a nice guy. At least on the surface. And I think he likes that surface. So we just go in and talk to him.
That's true.
And we make sure that, well, the club is jumping. Plenty of bodies around. In his club.
I didn't think about it. That's true. But if that happens, if it gets worse, then I look over at Mar. Anyone that we have ourselves associated with will be in danger at this point. If we pick a fight with someone this powerful, we will probably end up in danger. Well,
Well.
more of everyone you know. I scratch my head. I don't have anyone other than my sire.
There is truth to this, but it's more or less a cat and mouse game that we, unfortunately, are the mouse in. And Jason, I gotta level with you here. As much as I very thoroughly enjoy being a mouse, cat and mouse kind of situation, I don't want to be the mouse in this situation.
Yes, not me too. Mara, you don't have to be a part of this now, and you can just give the information to Luna. But since she's a part of it, you're a part of it, and I probably have endangered basically Luna's entire clan because I'm getting you and her involved. I shake my head, but fuck it. We have to find out the truth now.
I look over to the fancy lady. Hey, do you know how to handle a gun?
But you say you're like very quiet, Sakura.
Oh, I am?
No,
Yeah, which is surprisingly shocking.
because
I'll get closer to the microphone.
Oh no.
Oh,
Is this close enough?
you might have to adjust Sakura's audio on your side then, Blank.
You guys are all turned up.
To 200? Yeah, I'll just be closer to it then. That's cool by me. But yeah, I said I look over to the fancily dressed lady and I'm just like, hey, do you know how to handle a gun?
But of course, it doesn't.
I raise my
A
hand.
fair amount of people. But it's good that you do. Next question, follow-up question anyway, is does any of this interest you? Does this matter to you?
Perhaps. If it meddles with my freedom,
That it does. 100%. Whichever way this
then
goes.
yes, it intrigues me very.
Glorious. Well, the ticket to your freedom is currently sitting in a very, very lucrative club. Probably sipping his fine blood champagne and enjoying the many bodies mingling together in his club.
Oh, sounds lovely if it wasn't for the fact that he's ruining my freedom.
Right? Would you like to go and reobtain this freedom?
Sure. I have nothing planned.
Glorious. Well, Jason,
Well,
it's your show after all.
I scratch my head. It's more like a cooperation, you could say, in this theater.
That would make us a sitcom.
I've seen worse, as I put on my backpack. But let's get going for now. We have to at least start this as I pause. Wait, I didn't see your car.
Yeah, I walked here.
Wait, you walked here?
Yeah.
What about oil?
She's currently seeing to our friend and making sure that our friend stays, well, put. Unfortunately, I'd love to have her here with us, down where it's wetter, under the blood red sea. But I'd rather keep our friend safe. Yeah?
Yeah. Well,
Need at least one of them.
that's true. I look over at Mara. We're gonna have to borrow your car if you don't mind us riding in your car. And trust me, I'm bathed just because my I kind of look at my cloak. It may look scruffy, but that's the life of a Nosferatu, right?
I very much look forward to getting just
I pull out
chummy
my
with you.
phone and vigorously start typing on my phone, like, and just buying like at least 2 different black hoodies. Oh, don't worry. Hey, let us head out.
All right. Hmm.
Your bodyguard have a name?
Slate.
Okay.
Hmm. As
By the way, my name is Mara, if I forgot to mention it.
I extend my hand. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
I give a little nod, Jason.
Ah, come on, Jason.
I don't.
It did it again!
What? What happened?
It goes back to details in core.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my phone freaking out again. I was very confused.
I was looking at details. I'm sorry.
Alright, okay. I was just very confused for like a quick second. I thought it was my phone acting up.
She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit?
Roll 20 is possessed. It's okay.
The dice are throwing themselves.
But I
The
do want to
pages
make
are
sure.
moving on their own.
You're not doing this role play
Vic?
right.
Is this the session where we run into ghosts? Have we run into ghosts already?
I guess we have.
Turns out Zane was working for a ghost that hates all of us.
Wait, who's typing? How dare you? But,
Hey, Vic, do I have a gun? Did we ever
Yes,
establish
you
that?
do.
Alright,
and
okay.
I put him again. No. As whenever everything, like I end up opening the door. Well, for now,
Oh, shit.
we have to at least head out.
Before we head out, I am going to, since the beast, see if there's any sketchy individuals kind of around my area.
Gonna go prowl the campus a little bit.
Just around the area that we're in, see if there's anyone that means a little ill intent specifically towards myself or the people in this room.
Jason, you feel your own beast writhing inside at the thought of food. You're feeling a little bit peckish at the moment.
Yes. But first, let's grab something real quick to nibble on.
Vic, did you want me to make a rouse check or what?
For Mara.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a rouse check for Mara, now that she has appeared on scene. She is very much in control of herself tonight, so no food required. There's always that pang of hunger because you haven't killed recently, but that's manageable.
Okay.
I want to bump up my resolve. I want to blood buff my resolve.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rouse that up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and sense the beast.
Okay.
Let me throw this here.
Don't forget to give yourself that modifier of 1.
Mhm.
Messy critical. Let's go see where this takes us. You sense and extend your feelings out from your body to see if there's any sort of undead creatures or any beasts present nearby. Obviously, you sense the others in the room with you, but there is a presence pretty close by, actually. Just one individual, maybe a few houses down from where you are now, seems to be alone. And it's fairly faint, but as you are doing this process, you just feel yourself growing antsy. You are taken by just this uncontrollable feeling that you need to get away from everyone. Just go and be by yourself for a moment. Just, and there's too many people around. This place is too crowded. Also, I'm changing the song because this is so intense.
I mean, for what's about to happen, maybe you never know. I
Maybe it is perfect.
I just smile, give this big Cheshire grin to both Mara and Jason. I'll be right back, just holding up my finger, and I just dart out of the room, and I'm looking for some rats or anything that's on four legs at the moment, scurrying around the campus.
As I
No rats that you can see, but you do see a cat not far away.
Oh no!
That's my kitty.
Oh no!
God.
Oh
Its blood calls to you.
Here, kitty.
Now, Jason, you were going to say?
Oh, I was gonna also start my quick hunt.
Okay.
So I'm gonna at least do a little bit of breaking and entering.
I'm gonna see if there's someone sleeping in one of the dorms
Oh
nearby.
fuck yeah! That's my style.
I'd like both of you to make some rolls for me just to expedite the feeding a little bit. But Dent, make me a brawl and dexterity, and Jason, I want you to make me a probably a larceny plus.
I put so much in that too.
Let me find your sheet. Let's see
Oh,
here.
that's
Give
one.
me a larceny and a composure.
Composure.
While that's going on, I'm just gonna go walk to Slate and just go cuddle hug him and wait for them.
Hooray!
Well, this has gone very well for both of you. Dent, you make your way over to that cat
Kitty,
and
no!
nimbly snatch it up off the ground.
I'm trying to
Just
be
gonna make your way into the shadows and have a snack.
Yeah, I'm just petting the cat, and I'm just trying to make it feel as calm as possible.
It squirms a bit in your grasp, but as soon as you bite in, it goes limp and just lies there purring, but its little voice slows to a stop and then goes silent.
And I just drink until I'm better.
You feel much better. Unfortunately, the small cat in your hands is limp and cold.
Oh
You evil man!
Listen, vampires aren't the good guys.
You
We have to feed.
evil man!
We all feed eventually.
Darn it!
You gotta pick your poison somewhere.
Yeah. Meanwhile.
And Jason, there is an apartment just above yours. You know, you're able to creep up the stairs, moving unheard and unseen. Make your way to the lock, and it's been a little bit since you've had to do this, but you are able to pretty deftly make your way inside. It's still and quiet, the faint sounds of the street below, sounds of other apartments nearby where people are walking around and talking, but you can hear someone snoring in the bedroom. Creeping over to them, they don't even stir as you slip up to the bed and sink your teeth into their neck. They tense in their sleep for a moment, but then go limp again, snoring softly. And how deeply are you going to drink?
Because I don't want to completely remove it because that kills them, right?
Mm-hmm. You have to kill them to remove that final dot of hunger.
Fuck. I'll just drink enough that it clears off the second dot of hunger. I'm not
Okay.
intending to
Just
kill
enough
someone.
to fill yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna at least completely yield to the hunger as I just wipe off a little bit of blood that's on the bottom of my lip and as I leave the room and gently shut the door without waking him up.
Hey Vic,
And
I can't make this an undead cat yet, right?
no, you. Well, let me think about this. If you want to incur some stains on your humanity, you could attempt to ghoul the cat. But you,
Cat.
in order to drink from it deeply enough to satisfy your hunger, though, you did have to bring it to the point of death. So you'd have to give it a fair amount of blood. You'd have to make a couple of rouse checks as you are attempting to resuscitate it.
Okay.
Do you want to try?
Sure.
Oh my god, you're making a ghoul kitty.
Okay. Well, for each attempt that you make, and I'm kind of winging this a little bit, but I'm going to add a stain to your humanity, and I want you to make a rouse check. You do gain some hunger as that vitae is leaching out of your body. Everything that you took from the cats has been taken back by the small creature. And give me one more
Oh my god.
hunger gain.
Oh no.
Sakura, no!
Listen,
You
we're
have
good.
My lord.
this kind of defies everything that you've come to know about yourself up to this point. You are feeling like, I don't know, this act of trying to bring this cat back to life. It's in keeping with your general disposition, but it's so inhuman. This act of trying to turn something into a member of the undead that it's, I don't know, it's making you question yourself. And on top of that, you're feeling very hungry now. You're
I
tempted to sink your fangs into that kit and drink back everything that you just gave it.
I look around as I'm doing for this cat, and my thoughts towards the cat as I'm looking down too. As I look at it, does it look a little bit like a sphinx kind of cat? It's like it's hairless.
You know, now that you mention it, it is one of those very rare cats that is completely hairless. It looks a little bit wrinkled. Its skin is very pale and stands out very brightly against the night. Just kind of glowing underneath the bit of the street lamp that reflects off its pale skin.
So something in me is just kind of telling me that the more I look at this cat, and it reminds me of the sphinx that I have back in my home, or at least my condo, I start to feel something, like a sort of connection with this cat as I'm taking its blood and now giving its blood back along with my own, and I feel like this is right. This feels right to me.
So are you going to continue?
Yes, as I am looking around for someone that looks like they're just really, 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 having their go of messing with folks. There's just someone on campus that's just pushing people down and knocking them around and such and so forth.
Nothing quite so obvious. You don't see the stereotypical bully raising their fist at some nerd, but you do see a few people hanging around, just, drinking in a circle. Couple of them giving mean looks at the people passing by. One of them steps off to the side to light up a cigarette, leaning up against a building in the shadows.
Hey, that's my guy. Alright, so I'm gonna throw a rouse again?
One more time, and if you do this, it is going to affect your humanity, but if you think it's worth it. Rousing
totally worth
success. You feel a piece of your humanity just falling away. This has changed your outlook on life just slightly. You don't feel necessarily that much more monstrous, but just a bit less in touch with the human you used to be. But as you are contemplating this, the small creature in your hands stirs, twitches, and then flips itself out of your hands onto the pavement, landing on its feet. And then it looks up at you with these bright yellow eyes, almost waiting for you to tell it what to do next.
Well, hello there, my little friend. It seems that you and I are now connected by something very, very deep and wonderful, and over time, well, you'll understand more of, well, what you are and what I am. But before that, let's go have a chat with that friend of ours, and as I point towards the guy who's just smoking in the shadows.
The cat follows your gaze, and without hesitation begins slinking off across the street, jauntily hopping from one foot to the next like a small kitten.
And as I wait for the cat to get his attention and to get him looking another way, I just slide next to him. And I look around if there's anybody looking, and if there isn't, then I bite him.
There are students nearby, but you are also more or less out of eyeshot, and you could certainly drag him behind some bushes if you silence him quickly enough.
Try to knock him out
Hmm.
right over
Make
the head.
me a brawl and strength roll to grapple him, and give yourself a bonus of 1.
All right.
3 successes. You are able to clamp your hand over his mouth, knocking the cigarette where it smolders and goes out on the grass, and yank him behind some bushes where you sink your fangs into his neck. He
Okay.
thrashes a bit at first, but calms after a moment as the effect of your drinking begins to set in. And how much are you going to take from him? You're currently at 3 hunger.
I just go back down if I can.
Okay, back to 1. He seems very dazed once you finally let him go, and he just lies there on the grass, blinking rapidly, trying to figure out what's happening. But are you going to make your exit?
I just sit him up against something and I just walk away nonchalantly.
Your new accomplice follows jauntily in your wake as you head back to the apartment. And Jason, you have finished feeding. Mara, you've been waiting with Slate, and you see both of them approaching from different directions. And at last, you're all together again. And Jason and Mara, you both see that there is a hairless cat following in Den's wake, seemingly very intent on his back.
I just have my hands in my pockets and I'm just walking casually towards him.
I sign like, new friend.
New friend.
I sigh. Well, we're all here then. Let's get going. You ready, Mara?
Yes.
Do you mind cats in your car?
Normally, no, but obviously this one does not have hair. So, go for it.
Wonderful. And I'm just like, here, kitty, as I try to get into my arms.
The small cat just leaps readily into your arms and snuggles up against you, purring very loudly.
And I just sit in the back.
I sit in the back, like, I look over at Mara. Whichever side, like, whichever seat you prefer.
I'm gonna get in the front with Slate.
I then just sit in the back and shut the door. Well, to Zane's place we go then.
Slate knows the way. He's been there a number of times, either for you or the Baroness Mara, so he makes his way downtown with relative ease, not much traffic this time of night, and in no time at all you roll up to Pioneer Square in front of a small but booming club.
The beat never stops dropping.
Never does, not until the early AM when everyone is asleep.
Yes. The neighbors hate it.
Yes, they do. Thankfully, there are no apartment buildings too close, so they can be as loud as they want.
So
Territory is
wait, let me
rules.
Get rid of that. That's right. Vic, on the little page.
Which one?
On mine.
Let me see.
Whoa. On the core one.
Core?
Yeah, all the way down.
Let's see. What are you looking at?
I was looking at the humanity.
Oh yeah, I adjusted it for you. So just a recap for everyone, but the way humanity works is I have all of you starting at 7, and then you acquire stains on your humanity as you do inhuman things, feeding on innocent people, giving your blood to mortals, since that kind of defies the natural order of things, a very non-human act, and especially making ghouls or new kindred. That definitely is a hit to your humanity. So as you take additional stains, then it fills up to the maximum on the bar, however much humanity you have plus stains, and once it reaches full, then you begin to lose take superficial damage basically to your humanity, and as you take that damage you lose those humanity pips. So but once you take damage to humanity, then the stains go away, and then you're just left with the new amount of humanity.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
I also have an image of what Mario's car probably looks like.
All right, hook us up.
Hook us up, yo.
A very stately, sleek SUV with blackened windows. Impossible to see in from the outside, but perfectly easy to see out from in. And a sort of car that just quietly purrs its way through the night, making barely any sound.
But it still looks real nice.
Yes, it does. Only the best. So all of you have piled in, made your way to the club, and now that you are out front, assuming you are taking the front entrance, you can see the usual line of club goers out by the door, that same burly bodyguard who is barring everyone from charging the place, letting in a couple of people at a time as others leave.
I step out like a celebrity with a cat in my hand, or in my arm, just rubbing its back.
I just roll my eyes as I also get out from the other side. Gosh. Heading to the entranceway. Looking around to see if there's any humans that seem off.
There are a number of glances in your direction, but you can't be sure if it's because you're all exiting from this very nice car, looking like a group of celebrities about to storm the club, or maybe something more nefarious.
Even though I look
Difficult to say.
homeless.
I'm just
Yeah, but
waving
I
at
mean,
people and
it's more
giving
about your
handshakes.
entourage than any one person.
I get out with like a little ribbon in my hand, and I'm just gonna walk up to Dent and I'm gonna tie a little ribbon on the cat's neck. It's gotta look fancy while walking into the bar.
Of course.
I shake my
And
head at the two.
as Mara's doing this, I'm just waving very, I guess, mechanically, as some celebrities do, towards the crowd and walking up to the bouncer.
A couple of them wave back at you, although they look like they're confused if they should know you or not, but seems like you're somebody important, so.
I put my hand on my face
I'm
and
gonna scan the crowd and see if anyone notices who I am.
A couple of them do, yeah. Some of the same ones that are waving to Dent, their eyes shift over to you, and they're like, oh, their faces visibly brighten, and they're like, it's her! Oh! And they wave at you more enthusiastically.
I'm gonna give a little cheerful wave. Hello, darlings.
You hear a few screams, and I love you, Mara!
And I love you too, my fans. And I'm gonna blow a little kiss.
I just get really annoyed with how everyone's playing around with this situation as I head to like the bouncer as I go up to him, like lifting my head up. I need to see Zane.
If you would be your kind, sir, it would be so very, very, very wonderful of you to let us in, you know, like last time.
He kind of shifts his jaw around, he's thinking, and after a second he says, alright, go in. He's in the usual spot.
I give him a nod as whenever they let us in, just waiting for everyone to at least come in that are coming with us. Is Mara's the one driving is Mara's goal, yeah?
Slates.
Is he staying with the car or joining?
No.
No?
He's joining.
He is very protectively hovering behind Mara, a very large shadow in her wake.
Yeah, because we got out of the car and then he's just following behind her. Okay. I was just confirming who's who and
He's my little big dog.
Yes. I look behind everyone once we get into the club. It loud and the music's jamming. Now you have to switch to the jamming beats in my
All right, let me make some adjustments.
Them classy vibes.
Hold on, I'll have something for this.
Damn, I was thinking it was something just being like crazy. It's fancy. This is some fancy shit.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this timestamp is wrong.
Just give it a sec.
Oh.
There you go. Good enough. As while we're passing through people, I see Zane, but I go up and nod at Dent real quick to signal that we have to be ready just in case.
I very kind of subtly pat my side where the gun is being held.
And you brought the gun with you?
Yes, I brought the gun.
The gun, Jesus. As I pass the crowd, I walk past as I see Zane. Is he in the same spot he normally is?
Right in the same spot, drink in hand, looking at you like he's been expecting you.
As I head over.
As Jason's heading over, I stop Mara for a second and bodyguard in tow, and I'm just a bit out of the way, just kind of in the midst of the crowd and kind of just getting as bunched up with the bodies as possible. Am I holding on to something for me?
Of course.
And I just very, very, very subtly try to slip her the gun. Just put it into like her bag or something.
Let's see, I want you to make me a subterfuge and dexterity roll, Dents. And Mara, same thing.
Subterfuge?
Subterfuge and dexterity.
Oh, okay.
Subterdex. Dexterfuge.
I just want to see if this little covert pass-off goes unnoticed.
Oh no, this is gonna be loud and uninspired.
The gun drops to the
Oh my
floor. It goes
God.
off. Someone bursts into flame.
I'm gonna blood buff myself.
Would you like to make a willpower save there for us?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me mark off one of your willpower, and then I will do a D10 reroll. Oh wait, no, that's right. I can just do it from the sheet. Let's see, one willpower and willpower reroll.
Oh, I forgot to mark down that willpower I used. There you go.
It's not doing it for me. You try pushing the willpower reroll button, Mara, and I can just do a 3d10 roll if we can.
Willpower reroll.
That's weird. I don't know why it's not working, but I'll just do the roll, mate. Oh, wait, there we go.
Reroll.
One success. Let's see. I'll add that to that other one you already got. Oh, I see. It was it brought up a menu for me. Okay. Well, you have 2 successes, and Dents.
I would
Let's
like
see.
to blood buff myself real quick, so I can.
You would. Okay, make me a rouse check. Rousing success.
Okay,
And
so
subterfuge and dexterity.
Plus the 1.
Plus 1. 2 successes. Both of you pretty subtly handed off from one to the other. Mara, are you going to just slip that into your handbag?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll know when to use that.
Of course. Also,
Nice.
do I know Zane?
You know of him. He's you are from the barony up in Broadway, but you obviously know that the Baron of Downtown. He's got some, renown to him, but not someone you've met in person. You're aware that he's a Toreador, fairly prominent one, but
Oh,
he is.
okay.
just not someone you've ever had the opportunity to meet in person.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna at least go up to Zane, proceeding forward, passing some guys as I make it to Zane, and I stand in front of him.
Hey, Jason, how's it going tonight? You want to take a seat?
I stand my ground. No. I need to talk to you personally.
Can't we have a nice friendly chat? And he gives you a winning grin.
I walk up behind Jason. I just wrap an arm around his shoulder. It's really, really important to Jason if we just have this private conversation, if you will, just away from the crowd, really.
It's very important because something happened with Greg.
Yeah. And we really need to talk to you about it. If you don't mind, if you're not too busy. I mean, if I understand, pub scene's very active right now.
It is. He glances over the crowd and meets eyes with a few people, look like a staff. And after a moment, he says, "All right, come with me to my office. We can talk there."
You're the best, Zane.
Oh shit, you didn't even have us roll for that. Yay.
He's very accommodating, and he's always so helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
He makes his way over to a door at the back of the club that leads down into a darkened basement and says, "Right down here."
I look over, I look around behind us before we try to proceed forward to see where Mara is, since she didn't join us.
Was I supposed to follow her? Did you want me to stay back, Sakura?
Oh no, I definitely motion for you to come with.
Alright, I'm like walking while swaying to the music.
And
I'm not
as
following
you're
you guys, which way?
moving in that direction, Mara, I'd like you to make me an awareness plus wits roll.
Awareness. Fuck. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Awareness plus what? Wits?
Wits. 3 successes. You feel eyes on you and Slate as you're walking. Couple of beefier men mixing in with the crowd, but not really dancing, are looking at you. Some of them are glancing towards Jason and Dent over in the back, speaking to a thin man. He begins leading them toward the back of the club, and the other figures turn in that direction, almost as if they mean to follow.
I'm gonna try not to make it obvious that I've noticed them, but I'm gonna try to like motion for Slate to walk a little bit closer to me.
He is right at your back, rests a hand on your shoulder as you walk forward.
And just continue swaying to the music while I follow them. Some good ass music.
Hell yeah.
As you do so, some of the club goers glance at you and then do double takes, and some of them even start dancing the same way you are, trying to mimic this strange beauty who's passing amongst them.
Gosh. We just replaced one for another where now she's the center of attention and it's like shit. We can't do anything sneaky still. Fuck. But as whenever I saw them and they're slowly following, I face forward and follow Zane down, knowing that we are leaving ourselves in a awkward situation still. But
I let the cat go onto the dance floor, just in a general direction wherever I just see fit. I just let it down, let it go crazy.
The cat is very out of sorts with this many people stomping around every direction, and it hops up onto the back of a seat in one of the booths nearby, just sort of crouching low and surveying the crowd.
Good. Gotta get the kitty out the way.
But we proceed down to the place Zane was guiding us.
Down in the basement, it is dark and quiet, and all of that energy pulsing up above is gone. Now, down here, it's very lonely and discreet. And you can
It's a
tell this is
restaurant?
where he... Hold on, I'm moving the tab.
It's a restaurant?
Welcome to Mushu Gaipan.
Hey, can I get some egg rolls?
Yes,
Yeah.
but they're made out of pizza.
I'll gladly still eat it.
Pizza egg rolls.
Pizza egg rolls. But
As you all arrive down in the basement, he turns to face you, and filing in behind you, a couple of staff members fan out toward the back of the room, arms crossed, just watching you, not making any aggressive moves, but Zane beckons you closer. So, what is it you want to talk to me about?
Oh, so many things, Zane. I have a couple of questions for you. Most of them, I guess, can wait. A lot of them are just things I don't want to tug on your ear for because I know you have a lot of, time and patience. Well, communications with others that I'd like to use if possible. But I'll let my friend Jason here go first.
for one, something's been bothering me for the longest. As I make sure to keep an eye on the staff and make sure to keep an eye on them as I keep walking back and forth. One, something's been bothering me for the longest. Whenever we tried to take Greg to this location you told us to go to. Whenever you talked about your staff and that they never showed up, it didn't seem like you took any a chance or show any conviction or even any remorse that you lost men. As I try to at least watch him.
Obviously, I am upset. They, were close to me. All of my underlings are. I have numerous schools and children, and I treasure all of them. It breaks my heart that you tell me that I have no remorse. Of course I do.
See, you say that, but then why wasn't there any additional reports? No, as I put quotations, showing my hand no longer has the claws. Accidents, walking back and forth. There wasn't any reports of accidents last time I checked. So, no matter what happened to your men, it sounds a lot of things are going differently than what you were telling. Watching to see if any of the men showed any flinching or reacting in any way, so I can at least catch if any of them were close enough to, be like, oh
Real
shit.
quick, can I position myself in where there isn't stuff behind me?
Well, let me start drawing a diagram here so everyone can see what's happening.
Oh boy.
Let me make this one like a nice red color. That should stand out. So this is just kind of a small underground area. It's right below the dance floor. You can even hear the faint sounds of the club up above, people moving around, the occasional floorboard creaking. But it's pretty quiet, and you can tell that sound doesn't carry very well from the basement back up to the dance floor. So there is a little desk off on the side, kind of a square in the center, maybe for some kind of performances or photo shoots or something. It's hard to say. And Zane has positioned himself with a couple of his retainers over on the other end. And all of you are piled in right near the entrance. I should probably make this bigger. Let me see. First, I need to lock this one to the map layer.
Oh, second question. Were they aware that, did they notice Mario was behind?
They are well aware that your whole group has come down to the basement.
Damn.
after all these staff followed you in. I'll get rid
Even
of
if I
the
was
centerpiece.
walking normally, Vic did say there was eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Yes. I'm just trying to see if there's any alternate reactions from the men.
Well, if you want to glance back over your shoulder, you could give me an awareness plus wits.
Alright, here I go. Do I get a modifier yet?
Let's see here for your roll, Jason. Deduction doesn't really apply here, so no modifier.
Damn.
Unless you want to use a blood buff on yourself.
Yup.
Okay.
Okay, so I go poof. 3 success. I'm trying to see if there's any facial expressions, flinching, anything that can give off that I'm, saying anything that is the truth, because fun fact, whenever you can catch someone either in a lie in some sense, you can see minor little ticks with even the undead. It is a possible thing to at least catch because people have particular twitches that you can catch, even vocally.
Very true. Well, are you looking at the group ahead, Zane and his immediate subordinates, or trying to glance at the ones behind you?
Well, I'm looking ahead, and I'm hoping that Dent's looking behind, so I can catch anyone in a lie by just using how anyone at least acts.
I'm just shaking the hands of all of the bodyguards that walked in behind us.
Oh, so you've turned around and you're now with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just playing. You're playing ball.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to tell. The minions are very stony faced. They are just flanking his back and sides. They are very protective. They look like they'd be ready to break into a fight in a moment if you made any move toward him. But Zane himself, it's hard to say. He's a little bit neutral. He's talking about remorse and about feeling bad for, what happened, and how he's trying to be in control of everything, but his face is very flat. Not really much emotion at all.
I kind of glance over and I look to, glance over my shoulder and I look to Zane. Do you care what happens to Greg? Just wondering. Just question out there.
Well, once you've gotten all the information you can out of him, honestly, he's a liability. It might be best if he just went away.
Yeah. Guys like him, guys like us, never mix well, right?
Got that right.
Alright. And I just go back to, this is a very nice vest. Did I ever tell you that? And I'm just continuing.
I noticed whenever you said that, but wait. You said that, but then why did you originally want us to get him, have us meet up with people then? People that you told us to meet there.
Look, I only told you to go where the information told me that it would be convenient. I knew of a place where you could meet up, and unfortunately, something seems to have happened to my men before they arrived. Beyond that, it's really unfortunate what happened to you. Truly, I wish I had more say in what happened down there, but that's not my domain, so...
So you're saying whatever happened there is technically not your problem?
What is it,
If
Vegas?
you want to speak with anyone, you should talk to McNeil. He's Baron of the industrial sector, and honestly, my domain is fairly limited. Doesn't extend that far down south.
But it seems to coexist with McNeil, doesn't it?
Of course. It's impossible to run a city this big if we don't communicate to some extent.
Communicate how? Because it seems like what happened, it seems like how everything led to where we're at right now, Zane. I smell something's off. I watch him.
He looks at you very coldly and says, "What exactly do you mean, Jason? I think carefully about what you say in here."
And as he says that or finishes saying that, I'm just like, hey Mark, could you come and look at this guy's vest? It just looks so good. It's just very good looking.
And
Just
you're just
straighten
right
it
up
for him.
against one of
Yeah.
those guards.
Just straighten
He's
his
just-
vest and I'm just looking at it.
And this
Wait,
guy's
what's
just giving
going
him
on?
the dirtiest fucking look.
Wait, what's going on?
I'm basically motioning you to come over here and I'm saying the guy that I'm standing in front of, just like looking at his vest and I'm saying it looks so good and I'm motioning you to come over and check it out.
I'm gonna walk over with Slate, and I'm gonna just examine the dent.
The rest of the guards look very uneasy as the three of you are now surrounding this one guard kind of off in the corner over here. They move
look
a
at it.
bit in your direction away from the stairwell, trying to fan out so they all have eyes on you.
I mean, just look at it. I mean, do you know what kind of quality?
As I was resorted to at least go to my trump card as I take off my book bag. I want to at least tell you something. So I unzip my backpack and take out a notebook. You see this here? Zane,
I see it. What is it?
this here is the information my sire has kept. And in a way, it is passed down to me. As I zip up my book bag and put it over my shoulder.
Before this gets like super serious on your side, he's like, is it really good quality vest?
It is a pretty nice vest. Dent is not wrong.
God damn it.
It just looks so good as I'm just like examining it and I'm just
This guard that you're just preening over, he looks very uncomfortable at the attention, but also a little bit proud that you keep complimenting his clothing. Like,
That and also this pretty lady's also complimenting it. Don't forget, this is literally putting so much of his ego up. It's just bringing him up. And
he keeps glancing between you and Mara and then kind of fearfully over at Slate, but then back to the two of you.
this
And
here,
the others are just like circling in closer, just looking warily at the lot of you.
I'm just like motioning to them. Hey, you guys should come look at this. I don't know if you've seen your friend's vest or not, but guys, that's nice.
and
I'm kind of also trying to distract the other guards and try to compliment them as well.
okay.
Zane at the moment has attention focused on you, Jason, as you've approached him and confronting him pretty directly. So,
And
what do you say to him?
as I look him directly in the eyes, lifting my hood down. My sire has been investigating. He's a man that loves his mysteries. And I know he doesn't lie. Zane, I have to ask you here and now. What are you doing?
He sighs and cracks his neck a little bit, and he says, "I'm just trying to look after all of the kindred in my domain. What else can I do as Baron?"
Endangering my sire as you, McNeil, Greg, as you said he was. I give him the dirtiest look. A liability. Is my sire liability?
Jason, I think you are too serious about this. Look, I'm sure we can figure everything out. And don't you worry about your sire. I have everything under control. Just trust me. And as he says this, I want you to make me a composure plus intelligence roll.
Alright.
And I need to roll some dice.
Fuck. This is getting intense.
Oops, I rolled that as
For
you.
you.
And ignore that last one.
Like, violating security.
Sexual harassment. Composure and what?
I'm just practicing that caress
Composure
you
and
did with Slate.
intelligence.
I'm just practicing on its face.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Perfect.
And here I come. Oh my god.
Not bad, but he has, let's see here, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Damn it. Can I reroll?
You can, but you don't have enough dice to win this one.
Fuck.
As he locks eyes with you, you just feel drawn to him. You feel like, why are you arguing anyway? He's a good guy, right? He's helped you out. You know, it's silly to fight against him when you could be working with him. Like, if you just talk this out, then it'll all make sense, and everything will be okay.
As Zane is saying this, I'm like, Jason, listen, I know you and Zane are having a really important conversation. I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry, Zane. But you all should look at this guy's vest. And I just kind of go and grab Jason. Jason, look at his vest.
I look away as I'm just blinking, confused on why my head was telling me this. I was like, what? Maybe.
Come on. Come look at his vest. Zane, come on, come over here, come on. So why are you standing all the way over there? I
Zane
thought we're
pulls
friends.
out over Jason's shoulders. He's looking away. What are you all doing in the corner over there anyway?
We're looking at this guy's vest. Have you seen it? I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
my men are well dressed. What about
Yes.
it?
I mean, but have you seen this?
I'm gonna chime in and like, as a teenager, he does appreciate the good fashion.
I do. I'm the one who chooses their outfits. This is my club after all. And you can hear he's getting a little flustered.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, I just walk over to Zane, and I just casually just walk up, and I'm just like, and I just put one of my arms around his shoulder. Listen, all right, you're too tense right now. I mean, I know we're down here in the privacy, and I wanted that. Jason wanted that, just so we could have this conversation. I'm sorry if it seemed a little accusatory. I apologize. He's a very matter-of-fact kind of guy. But listen, between all of us and all of your friends here, all right? Let's just calm down and talk about it, yeah? Really talk about it.
And Dent, as you walk up, his bodyguards, you know, the
Stood forward.
people standing right behind him, they just close a little bit tighter onto his back, and you feel a wave wash over you. I want you to make me that same roll, a composure plus intelligence.
All right, can I add my point in fortitude to that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Damn it.
Very timely.
I try. So, composure plus, you said?
Intelligence, and you can buff yourself if you'd like to.
Sure.
Because you're already getting a modifier of 1, but if you do a rouse check, you can make that 2.
Jesus Christ, yes.
Rousing success. So make me that roll with a modifier of 2.
Jesus.
Okay. So, intelligence.
3 successes. You feel that same sensation creep over you, like, you know, this is silly. Why are you fighting with him? Like, can't y'all charge down here, feeling so accusing? But you know, Zane, he's just an alright guy. Like, you know, why be mad at him, right? Just talk this one out.
Gee, I have a very quick question.
Mhm.
Can you, like, when you activate awe, can you, like, goals? Or is that kind of
Anyone who is looking at you, paying attention to you, it works on.
Okay, I want to activate awe.
Alright.
While she's doing that, can I do a willpower roll?
Aw.
You absolutely can.
Cool.
I want to see. Let's see, because you have 6 total dice plus your hunger. You could succeed if you get. Hmm. Well, you could only re-roll up to 3, but I would say with 6, if you get like a perfect roll, you can try and resist this one.
Is there a way I can break this, or I'm fucked?
You turned away from him, took your attention off of him for a moment, so at least for the second, you're still feeling that sensation in your mind, like, Zane is right, he's trustworthy, you should just talk this out, you should just work with him. And Dan, 5 successes, you kind of blink, and you're just feeling like something is wrong. Like you still feel like you should trust Zane. He's definitely a reliable person, but it feels like it's somehow fake. It rings a little hollow in your mind.
Okay, and I think to myself, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but could you tell your guys to ease up a little bit? They're being kind of weird here. I mean, I thought we're all friends. We're all friends, right?
And let's see here, Mara, you've activated awe on all of these guards who are now looking at you. All 4 of them are focused on you and Slate at the moment.
I'll be like, are they all men or are they like a combination of men and women?
All men, fairly well built, obviously bodyguards.
Gentlemen, as much as I love this attention, could you back up a bit, pretty please?
So make me a manipulation plus presence roll. And I'll make just a group roll for all of them.
Manipulation plus presence?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on, I have to
And you, let's see here. I don't think we went through and set up the discipline fully, but let me quickly modify that so you can just roll it quickly. So that's going to be manipulation plus discipline. So you can just push the button now.
Which button?
On the right side there.
Okay, I see it. Oh, no.
Or is it not doing it?
No,
Oh no. Would you like to willpower that?
Yeah.
Because you will have 5. Like, that feels like that didn't roll properly. I'm going to... I don't know. It seems a little bit weird. I'll just manually roll this one for you. So that is 5.
Okay.
Oh, I see, because the modifier, but... And... Do you want to buff this one at all? If you try to make it into more of a seduction move, that would give you a bonus.
Can I?
You could be like, boys, please, let's all just get along. Why don't we all just...
Doesn't have to go around. It's a lady needs a space.
Alright. And let's make that with a modifier of 1. 2 successes. Let me roll for them. 2 successes. They... As a group, they all kind of look to each other and then back to you, and they don't seem entirely convinced, but not scared off either. They move a little bit closer to you. Slate just steps back a little bit right by your side as they crowd in. So, Jason, you are kind of glancing back in Mara's direction as this happens, but you also hear her Dent right beside you talking to Zane, so still feeling this compulsion in your mind. How are you proceeding?
I'm just not sure. Everything I built up to, everything that my assumptions with the investigation, it's ringing in my head that, like, maybe I need to just relax. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not sure what to do right now as I'm just, like, looking over to Mara, but since it's slightly fading, is there a way for me to, like, try to fully get a grasp of myself or not?
Let me see.
Because I'm just holding the notebook real tight in my hands.
You are, I'd say, because you have this strong conviction that you want to talk to him, make me another composure plus intelligence roll.
Oh my god.
To try and shake out the effects. And you can buff yourself if you want to give a little bonus there.
I do. But I gotta do rouse. Please hold as I roll for rouse.
Go for it.
Damn it.
You do gain hunger. Your beast just fights back against this summoning you've made. You calling on it to resist this effect in your mind, and it's like, we need to do something. This isn't right. Things aren't the way they should be. We need to feed. We need to go and take control, or just get away. Just run for it if we have to.
If anything.
4 successes. Since you're facing away from him, and since you've taken this moment to shake it off, I'm gonna say that you come back to your senses.
Can I hit myself?
If you really want to.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Wow. I'm usually just shaking it off.
As he
As,
punches himself, I'm just like, what are you doing? As I look to him.
as I just grip my left hand and I just whack on my left side of my face, going, ow. I actually don't.
Zane calls out, very concerned. What are you doing, Jason? Please don't hurt yourself.
Concern.
I'm just kind of looking towards Jason. Okay.
As I shake my head. Yeah, as I keep facing away. But I
Also,
try to. What?
Oh, I was just saying, I look towards the guy next to me, kind of close to Zane. Look, my good sir, I understand you're doing your job, and you're great at it. You're lovely. But could you please, at any point in time, share with yourself the glory that is a Tic Tac? Because you are killing me here right now. I can still smell. It's one of the advantages and beauties of, well, still being who I am. I can still smell pretty well. And you're doing awful things to me right now. I'm sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you in front of your friends, in front of your manager here, but come on. Dang.
He looks at you very coldly and he says, Dent, I really don't think you want to have this argument with me. You should all just run along and have a good rest of your evening, and we can talk this over once everyone has calmed down a little.
I'm calm, friend. I'm just talking to your guy here. He's cramping my style a little bit. I just wanna have a conversation with you. That's all.
And
As
as you are saying this, oh, go ahead. You're thinking something, Jason?
Nope, I'm interrupting. I'm like, then why is your name in the notebook, Zane?
I just slapped my hand against my face. What?
He sees the talks are breaking down, and he tries to catch the attention of both of you. And
I try to
I'm,
keep facing
Miss
away.
Mara, why don't you come over here too? Trying to make eye contact with one of you.
I just vocalized with Mara over there at the guy at the vest. I'm just like, hey, Mara, could you show that friend of ours over there at the really nice vest my present that I got for Zane?
So, wait, and I'll pull out what he
She pulled out Dead's
As
gun.
soon as the gun exits your handbag, the game is up, and all of the guards now start drawing their own weapons to move towards you.
I'd shove Zane forward towards.
Well, you're gonna have to make a couple of steps toward him. He's still like 5 feet away from you.
Oh, I didn't like wrap my arm around
You
his
moved
shoulder.
up towards Jason, but then his bodyguards moved in closer behind him. So I'll maybe say you're like 3 feet back. You stopped a little short just because they were moving so aggressively forward.
Okay, so I just kind of try to shoulder tackle all of them.
Okay, you're gonna go right into the pack.
Just ran in.
All right, make
Alright.
me a brawl plus strength roll, and give
Shoulder
yourself
check.
a bonus of 1. And I need to make a couple of rolls.
Rick, I have a quick question.
Mhm.
You said fleetness I could use to use a regular?
Yes. If you'd like to step back, you've drawn the gun with rapid reflexes, I presume, and all of the guards have seen and started pulling out their weapons. But how would you like to react? Just like step back, or do you want to take aim and fire, or?
Yes, I would like to take you fire.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a group roll for all of them as they start moving towards you and Slate. And I'd like you to make me a firearms plus dexterity roll. And you can buff
No.
yourself if you would like to.
How would I buff myself?
So do a rouse check, and if you succeed, you will not gain hunger, but if you fail, you gain hunger. But after you do that, success. So you now add a modifier of 1 to your roll.
What would it be again?
So a
Firearm,
firearms and dexterity. And
dexterity.
meanwhile, Dent, the first person, the kindred standing right to Zane's left, just goes down without any resistance whatsoever. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad I gave you the gun.
Oh my goodness.
Well, shit.
The second one in the back steps back, just looking very alarmed, and Zane himself stands firm, just letting you tackle his minion past him onto the ground. And meanwhile, let's see, that is only 2 successes for that entire group of guards, so they're all pretty much caught off guard as you pull out your gun and fire, and that's a critical success.
Jesus Christ.
The bullet slams home into the... Which one are you aiming for? The one that's closest to you, or one of the ones...
guy
there's
in
4
the
of them
vest.
basically in a group. The vest?
Yes, he said to show the vest. So
As soon as your bullet hits him dead in the chest, the vest is the first thing to light on fire, followed by the rest of his body.
But you're
Oh my
I kind
god.
of look away with like a pained look.
It's because it's fire as well.
It is, and I need you to make me a... just make me a willpower roll, and I also need to make one for all of them that are next to him. They're all ghouls. They don't have that same fear
I
of
have
fire.
one success.
But 1 success? You feel very put off by this fire. You don't completely lose control of yourself, but you probably take a few steps backwards. Just like the heat and the uncontrolled nature of the flame just pushes you away. And then this guard, he just starts running, flailing, and try to drop to the floor and roll, but his entire body is going up in flames.
Oh, he doesn't try to run into the
And
other
they'll
guys
just
that
be
are
like,
close by.
whoops.
They've made way for him to run past, but they are now closing in again around you with their guns drawn. So, Jason, what is your move? I should all mention, this one has been tackled backwards by you, Harvey.
Alright, and then there's the other guy with Zane, as
Mm-hmm.
since I'm still
And
facing
Mara's
where
just like, whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
meanwhile I'm gonna at least shoulder bump into the guy to try to do a domino effect.
Okay, you're gonna charge the other one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try
Or
to
the ones behind you?
no, where
Okay,
Mara is, so that she doesn't
Okay.
get shot in the face point blank.
Alright, make me that same roll, a brawl plus strength as you charge in, and you can buff yourself if you would like.
No, because I'm saving that. But
Okay.
you know what? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buff myself.
And let me double check here. You do have fortitude if anything tries to happen to you.
Yep.
Yeah, if they try to make any kind of
I'm a
physical
tough
attack
baby
on you, you're
boy.
done. But let's see. You do gain hunger. That puts you up to 3 now. You are feeling famished. You could just drink any one of these men dry.
As
Ooh.
I just shoulder bump as hard as I can, use that blood buff, and then I just ram into one to at least hope to knock the rest of them down.
3 successes. Let me make a roll for the 3 of them. Let's see. 1 success and a critical fail. Yeah, they are very unprepared to be rushed by you. They're all focused on Mara at the moment. And so let me do them one at a time so I can see exactly how this goes. So the first school manages to keep his feet but is pushed backwards. The second one, oops, that was a 12, not a 10. 2 successes. Also stands their ground, bracing against the arm of the other guard, but once again is pushed back. And the third one,
Oh, I want him to eat shit. Or you're just
they're
like,
all standing on their feet still, but they've been pushed back, ramming into each other, and they completely lose their sights on Mara. So they are all now focusing on you. But let's see here. Mara, what are you telling Slate to do as this is happening?
I'm gonna tell him to shoot the one not closest to Jason, but the second one.
Okay, the one in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, he draws his gun and quickly pulls the trigger. 2 successes, catches them square in the chest, and having already been off guard, they get knocked back onto their butt. Head collides with the wall behind them.
Yeah.
Hara Dent, you have tackled this first kindred flanking Zane onto the ground.
I try to pull out his gun.
Trying to pull it out of his hands. So a brawl in strength, +1.
Two success.
She's not the best roll, but not really in much position to resist you. They're on the ground, defenseless, and let me give them a reduced difficulty roll. Let's say that'd be like a 2. 1 success. They feebly try to hold onto their gun, but you yank it out of their grasp. And at this point, Zane and his other flanking child have turned on you. And at this point, Zane says, "All right, this is enough. Just stop." And let me make a check here.
Fuck.
He is going to use Irresistible Voice to try and do a dominate roll on you. Probably a Mesmerize, I imagine. So give me an Intelligence plus Resolve.
All of us or just
Is my resolve still buffed?
Just Dent. He's saying
okay.
this directly to Dent.
Do I still have my modifier to my resolve?
Yes, last for the scene.
Alright. That's all it is.
2 successes. Let me make a roll for him. That is a Manipulation plus Dominates. So that'd be like a 4. He gets 1 success. So you... No, you succeed at this roll.
You won the fight.
You are very focused on your little
I'm holding
brawl
the
with
gun
this guy.
to this guy's head while he's saying this. And I'm like, Zane, you started this, alright? Now, I just want to talk with you. But you're trying some funny business and I really don't like it. Now,
She drew a gun. I have not done anything hostile towards you.
I can
To
feel
be
something
fair, they
wrong.
were coming too close to me.
You ain't treating us like friends here, Zane.
I want to be friends with all of you, but you come into my club, you're accusing me of things, you're being very rude with
just
all the
wanted to
hospitality
talk
I've
to you.
given you.
All I
want
wanted
that
to do was
too.
talk to
As I grit my teeth. Bullshit.
You have something to say, Jason? He glances in your direction.
You. Everything that's led till now. The Second Inquisition. That gun Mara is holding. You have a connection. I know you are connected. My sire knew you are connected. And why are you and Greg connected then? only conclusion I was able to have, as I'm still facing away, the only conclusion I was able to establish why no one went missing, why you were able to react in such a composed manner the first time we met. The reason why everything is leading to now, Zane, is either one of two things. Either A, you knew Greg was going to get caught. That's why you sent men, not your men, other men. Or two, that
He looks over the entire scene. His child tackled to the floor with gun held to their head. One of his men on fire in the back, just unmoving. The other one nursing a bullet wound through their torso, just leaning up against the wall, in and out of consciousness. And he's like, "This isn't how I wanted this night to go. You know, I knew it would come to this sooner or later. But if we can just be civil about this, I can give you some answers."
It's all we want, Zane. I'm sorry about this, and I look down at the guy. Really, good sir, I'm sorry about this. I was trying to get your goat a little bit. You did a great job. Just by
He
the
bares
way,
his fangs at you and hisses.
see, you're doing great right now. But I really don't want this hot and cold situation with us anymore. You know, I want this to be a very open, relationship with us. And to do that, we need a little give and take here. Just a tiny bit.
basically
Tell us what's
Dent
going
is
on.
trying to put is no more bullshit, Zane. Did you or did you not send those men to kill us?
I didn't send anybody, but there are people who watch us. All of us. Me, you. They know everything that happens in this city. And it's hard to keep anything from them. And as soon as I sent you down south to find out what happened to your sire, they came to me and told me what was going to happen. And look, he crosses his arms, hugging himself, and he's like, I have a deal. They leave me and the people under my protection alone, and, well, they go on their little crusade, trying to rid the night of us. It's not what I want. You know, there was a time when we could freely walk the streets without any fear, but with all the monitoring happening, social media, cell phones, cameras everywhere, it's impossible to stay hidden. It was bound to happen eventually. I'm just trying to keep up with the times. I don't want to die. I don't want anyone that I care about to die, and I'm very sorry that you all stuck your nose into their business. You left my domain, and I couldn't protect you down there. So, I'm sorry.
I put my hood back over my head. Sorry's not going to guarantee anyone else safety. Sorry, as I turn around, not having the hood covering my eyes. Sorry is not going to promise anyone in this room, not me, not Dent, not Mari, not Luna, not even fucking Hibari. Because guess what? If that is true, if they're listening now, who the hell do you think will be coming for you? Who do you think, out of telling us now, out of everything you've built up, just because you let them do what they want, they're gonna be coming back soon.
They're probably already here.
I know they're here.
And I'd like all of you to make me awareness plus wits rolls, please.
Oh god.
Damn it. Had to say something. Awareness plus what?
Wits.
Do I get a buff?
If any of you would like to buff yourselves,
Oh,
then
I thought it
by
was
all
investigation.
I feel like my
No.
lucky streak is just going to take me
Not
so
even
far.
deduction? Damn it.
No, you're just trying to observe your surroundings very
Fine.
quickly in the moment.
4.
4 successes, and Dent with 2, and Mara.
I was gonna hit submit, but then Jason's thing got in my way.
Oh no.
And then I pulled my
And 3
middle finger.
successes.
2, 3, 4.
As a group, all 3 of you, your eyes are drawn to the desk over in the corner where a computer sits. None of you really paid much attention earlier, but there seems to be a webcam on top of the monitor facing towards the center of the room.
Can I shoot it with the gun?
If you would like to waste a bullet, fire round on that, by all means.
Go ahead and dead shot. Do it.
Or you could always
So
tell
what is
Slate
it?
to do it.
As I lift my hand up. Wait.
No, Slate, go for it.
No.
Slate
L-
draws
listen
his
to
gun
me one
and
fucking moment.
very deftly aims.
I will hit
You
your
look-
ghoul. I will punch your
Pretty
ghoul right
Jason.
here and right now as I
Listen.
face them. I will punch him.
Listen, you already ruined it for us. You exposed way too much information. There is no way to limits. As much as I love my freedom, you are exposing way too much.
Zane, why do you have a computer with a web camera?
Because I keep in touch with them.
Oh,
This is where I do my business. They like keeping tabs on what's happening. And they've probably been listening to this whole conversation.
and I just look down towards this guy that I haven't gotten pressed to, and I'm just not really looking at him, I'm just looking through him. That's great, Zane. First Greg, now you. I thought you of all people would be a little bit safer than Greg, but come on, is everybody just in technology this? You know what? I look over to Jason. I don't think I want the phone anymore, because if I get like this, if I get like these guys, then I'm probably dead already. So I just throw the phone against the wall. I just, goodbye, Sheila, and I just throw it.
As
I might just get Slate to try to shoot the web camera.
Jason, any move to stop him?
I just
He's already aiming at it, ready to fire.
I sigh and I just kind of just give up.
Sensing your reluctance to stop him, he pulls the trigger and the bullet hits true, making the webcam just explode in a shower of electronic components.
Zane, do you know what you've done? All those people up there, they're probably dead right now if we go back up. They're probably all dead.
And we're next. As I just head to the door.
Is that man still on fire, by the way?
Oh,
He's
no.
dead.
His body is still smoldering, but
Okay.
Dead.
He did!
I walk over to the door. They're dead, but we're not. I'm sorry, Dad.
Jason, now is not the time. Don't you dare run right now.
I'm not running. I'm gonna fight.
If you're gonna do that, could you please go check on my cat?
Okay.
I'm just asking. Just holding the gun. It would be really nice of you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No.
Okay, try not to get shot at up there. Yeah, let's all just kind of make our way up there. Zane, look, at this point in time, even if you don't like us right now, you're going to probably die unless you help us, because I'm fairly certain if Greg was expendable, then you definitely are expendable.
He sighs, clearly weighing his options, not sure if he should just give up completely or if he still wants to
I
try and
love
take
your
control of the situation. But after a moment, he calls to Jason as you're heading up the stairs and he says, "Wait, there's another way out."
I pause and turn around and walk up to him again. Tell me. And second off, I look over. Is there any microphone that they can hear us outside of the webcam? As I go.
No, not down here. Just the one.
They have those?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
You'd be surprised. They make very small listening devices these days.
As I
But
look over.
that was the only one here.
Is there any way to at least track them? IP address, anything like that?
There is.
Good.
If you show your presence online at all, they'll follow you, but they're easy to follow themselves.
Oh, I always show my presence online.
Alright, Drama Queen, as I go to the computer and...
Listen, if you want to find them, you could probably use this.
No, I look at her. I'm not trying to... I am going to find them, but... we're gonna give them a distraction.
Well, this distraction as it is. I'm a getting famous fashion model doing this.
Well, not
I need
that.
a
I
perfect
mean...
distraction.
See, here's the thing. They are aware of you, but the thing is, since because you're famous, because you're known, they can't touch you. As long as your name is on the big screen, they can't touch you. But they can touch me and Dent. And that's why I'm trying to do this. I pull up my phone, and I pull out
Yeah, I
a
didn't
USB
give
cable.
consent. I didn't give consent to be touched. I'm just saying.
Dent, not right now.
Okay.
Not touchy.
As I plug my, the burner phone, turn it on, and use one of the USB cables, that was normally used to charge them, connect it to the computer.
While this is happening, I'm just gonna kind of move over to where Zayna and be like, so where did you get your outfits?
They're custom made. I know a tailor.
So sorry about that, guys.
Give me this info.
Meanwhile,
I'll do that if we both live.
can I do something? Okay, so
What are you thinking?
I am going to make it where the phone I'm at least connecting to is going to ping something where it makes them interested. So I'm making it where my phone, the phone I'm attaching it to, is going to at least give a signal that they can quote unquote follow.
I'm just gonna ping the web from your current location.
Yep. As I'm trying to at least set it up so that but I have to, should I do some type of technology roll or whatever?
I think so. Give me a technology plus intelligence roll. Just to see how effective it is.
Alright.
Now, I'm not going to make any kind of counter roll. I just want to see what you get. 3 successes.
Okay, so what I'm doing is basically pinging it so that it gives away a location, but on purpose. As I look over at Dent. Dent, how attached are you to your cat?
Oh no. He just got
Very. Why?
Good answer. I'm going to borrow your cat.
What do you mean you're going to borrow my cat?
As I I triggered the GPS on it. So, trust me,
Let him touch your cat.
I'm going to have to use your cat.
Let him touch your cat.
It didn't even give consent. And I just get up off of the guy that I had the gun on, and I just get up and I just throw him the gun. I don't. What is with people in the things?
Dent,
small things in life.
It'll give us time.
Fine, whatever. Just... My cat better survive this, man.
I'll get you a new cat, I promise. If it doesn't survive, I get you a new cat. Fair?
You know what? Sure.
Just like that, he's over it.
I just look at Jason and I just point and I'm just like, yeah, okay. New cat, you'll get it.
We're trying to get it.
As I look over Zane. Zane, whatever happens next, and I'm sorry for making 100% accusations that didn't really pan out. But you knew this was going to happen eventually.
I did. I just hope it would be a long way off. But, well, what happened happened.
It's simple.
You know?
As I'm continuing typing on the computer, as I'm also trying to get the address for the location of where the Second Inquisition is. Yep, two-step plan.
I yell out to you. You know, actually, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that cat will live.
It's a very tough cat. It's gotten through a lot this far. It lived out on the streets.
So, first things first, the first thing I do is I activate the GPS so that it can easily be tracked. Makes it obvious, makes it easy. That's why I ended up trying to use burner phones so that no one can track me, because I have the GPS disabled on all of them. But I re-enable this one, and also I'm attempting to try to find the IP address, aka the location where the Second Inquisition is.
Make me another one of that same roll you just gave me.
There he goes, ladies and gents. Wait, it was intelligence, yeah?
And technology.
Yep. Fuck.
2 successes. You do see that the data you sent out has been received by another party, although at the moment you can't really tell who. You have an IP address though, so you want to quickly jot that down?
Yeah, as I quickly take off my book bag, write down the IP address, knowing that as soon as I put that down, they will be coming. There is no place to hide. As I put the note in my pocket. Alright, that's as much as I can do. We gotta leave, guys.
Zane steps over around his men to the back wall, and he presses a switch hidden behind a bit of decorative outcropping from the wall. And after a moment, the entire wall starts to swing backward. And you see that there is a passage leading out into what seems to be the Warrens.
Zane, are you familiar with the term Batman?
I'm aware of it. A bit after my time.
Call you Batman.
Sure, call me what you want.
As I look at everyone. Alright, go on ahead. I got this.
I wait. I just kind of wait there for everybody else to go out.
Okay.
If that guy that was on the ground is still on the ground, I try to help him up.
He reluctantly takes your hand and lets you pull him to his feet. The other kindred there moves over and steadies him, and they both step out of the way, just giving you uneasy glances.
You two take care.
So, Mara, what are you and Slate doing? Going to make your way to the opening?
I'm going to actually pull Zane aside,
Okay.
look away from everyone.
Alright. Just draw him off to the side. What? What is it?
I'm just gonna ask if you knows of the name Alistair.
Alistair. Of course, who doesn't? Everyone knows Mr. Sparkles.
Wait, is this Twilight? Oh no.
When did we enter Twilight?
The stupid joke me in the big
I'm so upset. What?
I'm gonna ask him, has he personally been in contact with him?
Not personally, but he's been around. Been in town lately, I think.
At the nightclub or just roaming around?
Some of my people said that they've heard word of him, but not in my domain.
And just kind of visibly have a look of disgust and be like, does he have any arm candy?
Of course he does.
Just I'm gonna like aggressively pat his shoulder. Thanks for the info, and I'm gonna walk out.
He gives you a very concerned look and says, "Try not to think too much about it."
Try not to. Ciao.
Hey Mara,
Yes.
you gonna keep that shiny little trinket? Or you want to toss it back to me? I'm cool with that.
Wait. You're giving me the option to keep it or not?
Mm,
I want to keep it.
go crazy with it. Seems like it likes you.
Thanks.
And
My gift to you.
Jason,
Mhm.
what are you doing next?
As I'm watching them leave, but I quickly just put on my hood and run off. And I rush upstairs later night. I don't say this, but I'm just like, whenever I said, like head on out, I run as fast as I can upstairs and try to find the cat and see how everything was looking upstairs.
Club is much as the same as it was when you left. People seem to have noticed that Zane's not there. He's always present in his booth, and all of the regulars are like, "Where did he go? Why isn't he here?" And some of the servers are a little bit unsure what to do with their boss missing, but they're still serving drinks. Things are still moving as usual. Music is still playing. And on top of a table staring straight at you is the cat.
I sway the cat to at least come to me.
It hops off the table and moves towards you cautiously, weaving between the legs of the people dancing around it.
As Jason was running up the stairs and I was waiting for everybody else to go out, I shout out to him as he's running up. Its name is Dr. Blue.
I just like whenever I hear that, I just acknowledge it and proceed upwards as I kneel down. All right, Dr. Blue, your owner has named you Dr. Blue. Hopefully, as a ghoul, I don't know how this works since I don't have my own. You can understand my commands, I think.
It cocks its head at you, waiting for some kind of instruction.
Alright, as I undo the bow that Mara will, put on the cat. Alright, Dr. Blue, I try to see if I can untangle it and then make it possible so I can tangle it around the phone. And then I just wrap it around and make sure it's gently tied on around Dr. Blue. I need you to run around as much as possible. I need you to get away as far away as possible.
The cat looks at you quizzically, but after a moment shakes its neck, seeing if this phone will stay put. A little bit off of center because of this extra weight on its neck, but then after a moment it goes dashing off through the back door past the startled bodyguard who says, "Hey, who let a cat in here?" and out into the night.
As I watch the cat, I'll buy us sometime, but I don't know how long. As even though this is gonna be painful, this is gonna be fucking painful. I trigger heightened senses to try to hear as much as possible.
Okay. Well, if you're doing that, let me see here. I'm gonna need a roll from you. Because this is a thumping club with people everywhere,
It's
lots
gonna
of
hurt
noise,
like hell,
lots of sound.
but I'm gonna try to use
a wits plus resolve roll.
Oh my god.
And feel free to buff yourself if you want to.
Wits resolve. Yeah. 2.
You want to willpower that?
Yes.
Okay.
Willpower.
All right, make the reroll. 3 successes. It's really hard to shut out all of the noise, the people talking, and listen to the outside world. You hear traffic flowing past, you hear people talking outside, the sounds of lighters being lit, cigarettes, people inhaling,
music
smoking,
pumping
breathing
and just
out.
hurting like hell.
Oh, It does not feel good, but you're just able to suppress it and listen hard, and you do hear the sound of a car coming to a stop not far away.
Shit. As I rush back downstairs and make it back to the doorway, trying to see who's left out of everyone else.
So, let's go through the list here. Dent, have you made your way into the tunnel?
Yeah, I just kind of linger there for a
Just
moment.
waiting for Jason to come back?
Yeah, linger there for a moment. Then if I just don't see him, then I start walking.
Okay. And he hasn't been very long upstairs, so probably as you're starting to go into the tunnel, he comes back down. Mara, have you and Slate made your way into the tunnel?
Yes, I'm currently aggressively typing on my phone. Arm candy.
And the kindred and ghouls that are still surviving are collecting themselves. Zane has made his way to the center of the room, is watching the tunnel, meets your eyes, Dent, and says, I really did want us to be friends.
I mean, present situation aside, even if you may have messed with my mind a little bit there, I feel like I still want us to have a friendly relationship. Listen, bad things happen, and I'm an understanding kind of guy. But what you're doing with these kindred killers is just gonna bite us all in the butt, and I just want you to know that.
You're probably right. I did what I thought was best, but maybe I was wrong.
But it's okay, because listen, I'm here for you. And if you're there for me, then maybe we all get out of there. Yeah?
I hope so. And Jason, you have entered the basement, seeing this exchange happening.
As I'm still trying to rub my ears because it was so loud. Fuck. I shake my head and proceed forward. I see the two having a conversation as I look down because I'm still like I look down a little and I proceed forward and head to the exit, but stop where Dent and Zane were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dr. Blue okay?
Dr. Blue's fine, but I need him as a distraction for us.
Be good there, cat. Gotta be good. Plans for you. Oh, alright. And I just pat Jason on the shoulder, and I just start making my way out, trying real hard to keep the blood tears at bay.
And as you all enter into the tunnel and start making your way into the Warrens, Zane comes over and begins closing the hidden door after you. And as it snaps shut, you can hear him shouting orders to his children and to the ghouls. He says, we'll bury Mitch later. Right now we need to clear everyone out. Burn the building to the ground. I want us all out of here within the next hour. Go! And the door snaps shut.
As I pause and look back, as I put my hand to the exit and yell, Zane!
He can't hear you. He's already too far away.
As I stop, and I forgot to at least warn him that they were already here.
Oh. He's probably dead.
I'll never get the name of that Taylor.
Probably dead.
And all of you are now in this passage together in the darkness. But you do see a light in the distance in the ceiling guiding your way. And Blank, how much longer do you have before we need to stop?
How long would you need?
Because if we'd like to take time to wrap this up, get everyone back to their homes, get everything settled up for the night, that might take a bit. So we can pause it here and begin our next session with just a little housekeeping where everyone is at the start of the next night. But
We could just call it the light at the end of the tunnel part.
perfect,
one.
I'm stealing that.
We call it for
Oh
now.
boy.
Okay. Well, thank you all for playing tonight, and thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you all had fun, and lots of dramatic stuff happened tonight, but next time we will watch as events continue to unfold.
Rest in peace, that guy's best.
Yeah,
Rest in peace,
God.
Zane. Because I thought, well, I wasn't given enough time to at least warn him. Since Vic's just like, everyone went inside.
Well, he started closing the door behind you and snapped shut before you could
Well, I
say
didn't leave.
anything.
I was waiting until Dent was going inside. I didn't go in yet.
Everything was dented. I mean, for dramatic effect, it totally works. But if you're cool with doing that little part over,
No,
I'm just
it's
walking
okay.
out.
I just like, whenever I heard the noise, my focus was trying to get us as like a distraction. As whenever I realized it, I tried to at least yell to him real quick about the vehicle. It was already too late since he was already long gone, and I was like, shit. And now I'm just questioning, am I doing the right thing?
In my mind, as I'm walking through this dark tunnel with everyone, I'm just picturing in my mind Zane running out of a building on fire with my cat in his hands. It's like a firefighter. And that's just what's going on in my head.
Jesus.
Oh, we will find out in a later session, but for now, we'll call it there. And again, thank you all for playing, and hopefully you had fun, and we will resume the story next time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I had fun. I got a critical success.
Shot
Hey.
someone.
She did.
They're in danger.
I fucked up.
You gone goof, man. You gone.
You started a party, and we had a party.
Yes.
Private party.
It's okay. It ended the way Sakura wanted. Someone ended up on fire.
Did. I was so hoping you would.
I didn't
You
see the
did.
I didn't see the computer. Why wasn't that pointed out? Why didn't we see the fucking computer at the beginning?
Because we didn't look towards the desk.
You didn't look
Well, we walked in from
I know
the door.
why I didn't care. I
It
didn't
was in the
care.
opposite corner.
Yeah, I didn't care because I don't think
Your
about
focus
technology,
was
so I
on
probably
Zane.
saw it.
No.
Yeah, I probably saw the computer, but I was like, weird technological doodad. Whatever that does. Whatever that does.
Listen, your focus was on Zane, and half of the time, Dent and Mara were like violating guards.
What? No, we were just
Aggressive
admiring.
seduction.
Yeah.
I just
Roll
kind
for
of just
bluff.
imagine Dent trying to like mimic what Mara was doing.
Just rubbing his face.
Oh no. Well,
Yes.
I still feel bad though because bleh, I led it to a different thing, but I figured out a new thing with the remaining time limit we had.
Yeah.
You figure out some good stuff. And you know, that's just great, because you get to continue to be a
But I'm
special
homeless.
investigator. Homeless special
You're not
investigator
homeless
Jason.
right now.
You're not.
As of right now, but if word's gonna spread fast, you know that, right? Word spreads
Well,
fast.
Zane's not dead yet.
That we're aware of, because remember, I heard a vehicle.
So the goal might not know yet. So you might have that room for a little bit.
But that's why
I
they
mean-
have phones, though.
As we're going,
Mhm.
and as I kind of put 5 and 6 kind of together in my mind to make a beautiful 11, I realized that knowing all of this and kind of knowing how easy it was for Greg to get gangsters next to my humble abode, I'm gonna be going there to see if if I can get there before they do, because they're obviously going to be there, and I need to get to Oil and Greg.
Since we acted first, they're gonna act and retaliate because what we did just now gave off the worst impression. I fucked up. I dropped the ball.
You dropped a really big ball there.
I had 2 experience.
2 weeks.
Yep. And I gave Luna and Hibari 1 experience each, because kind of minor roles in this one, but they were still present and did stuff. And then 2 for the rest of you, for being in the depths of the action.
Okie dokie.
It was glorious. I got the cat.
Yes, you did.
And that cat became a
You
distraction.
got a cat and then lost a cat.
You
but
didn't
maybe you'll have a cat
lose
again.
it. See, okay,
He'll be back.
here's my thought process. It's not meta, ain't it? It's just, okay, so, you know, if you try to tie something onto an animal, the phone's eventually going to fall off of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping for, long as the cat's able to get that phone far away with that GPS tracking.
Mr. Blue comes back with the phone.
I'd be like, ah, crap.
Dr. Blue, what's that phone attached to your bag?
No, see, I tied it in a not as tight way so that like it could easily detach after a certain distance.
Oh, God.
So I made it where it's gonna drop eventually. So like if you ever tie something to an animal and you make sure it's loosey goosey enough so whenever it drops, it's gonna drop somewhere.
It doesn't
Andy's
fall that
naked.
far.
Well, shush. We'll see. We'll see next time and how Vic Elise is gonna GM that
Listen,
into the next part.
I won't be upset if you totally murder my cat, Vic.
Don't murder a cat. I
I
will
won't
forever
be upset.
nickname
I
Jason
can't
Cat
advocate
Killer.
kitty murder. I felt bad enough when
No.
you were drinking the cat, and I was so happy when you made it into a ghoul instead. I was like, whew.
And
And
now
then
distraction.
sent him on a suicide mission.
Distractions?
Listen, it's either us or the Second Inquisition that's already at the doorstep.
Kitty
The
murder.
second Inquisition.
I mean, just picture the cat as Bruce Willis. He'll be fine. Or he'll die
Yep.
hard.
Exactly. I'm expecting the second option.
No.
I'm expecting the second one. And the issue is
Same.
that cat's gonna be.
Murder.
The cat can't. Like, it needs your blood.
Yeah, so it'll come back. It'll know where I am. It's coming to me. One way or another. Either in a box. On fire.
Terrible.
or back to me in one piece.
Well, we'll see next time and how it goes, but. Damn. I feel. That point whenever you just blank, it's just like, hey. Yeah, you already fucked up. It's like, yeah.
I mean, you shouted out, and he's an observant guy. Maybe he heard you, but by then the door had shut, so no way of knowing.
Well, I mean, like, you kind of brought it up like 4 different times, and I was like, dude, I couldn't say anything. I was like, dude, you're saying too much. Dude, you're saying too much. Choose the computer.
Well,
It was time to stop.
we didn't know about the computer, to be fair.
We
And
did.
the thing is,
Regardless.
and the second thing is that with the computer we have an advantage because we got a location. So
We also got information.
wait, what?
I said they also have information.
Yeah, but that also that okay, yes, it puts a target on our back. I agree with that. But
I mean,
They
probably
don't
just
know
be
where
sweet.
Counter arguments. You're a kitty murderer.
that's Sakura though.
No, I mean,
No, that
I'm a
was
kitty.
you.
I'm a kitty necromancer, really. Not a murder. I brought it back to life, alright?
Okay,
Me and that cat are going places.
Okay, counter is a cat. Like, it is hard for those fuckers to probably catch a cat.
It's a cat.
It's a cat.
I mean, I knew what I was doing when I made a zombie cat. All right. I made a zombie cat. let's be real here.
And I just used the cat as much as I could because it is important.
I had the worst thought for that cat.
The catch
A
it and open it up.
sniper.
Oh.
I was just saying a sniper.
They would
Kitty's
have.
head.
They would have to like station there first. First and foremost, that requires you to do extra stuff to get that to work. But yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for
Anything's
tonight's
possible with rolling a dice.
That's true, but
All
until
logic goes out the window with dice successes.
true. But anyways, that ought to do it for tonight. Like tonight's stream. Thank you to those again that were watching. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Boy.
Don't murder cats.
Unless you bring them back to life, then you know it's really fair game at that point.
Good night, everybody.